Mother, man.
This is Stephanie from Toledo, Ohio, and you're listening to Murder, Metal, Mayhem.
Spreading faster than a case of the clap in a trailer court. Able to shatter eardrums within a 666-mile radius. A podcast more brutal than all the rest. It's Murder, Metal, Mayhem!
I was a hitchhiking hooker.
She was a hitchhiking hooker. I guess. What's up, man? It's Tuesday.
Fuck, not much, man. Worked again. Now I'm here doing the second job.
You're very essential today, apparently.
Very essential today. Fuck yeah, dude.
Hell yeah, man. We get some podcasts in the night, some storms rolling in. So looks like it's might get a little crazy in here tonight. So we'll see what happens.
Might hear some thunder rolling in the background.
That's right. That's right. And it's going to be a good one, though. I've been pumped up for this one. We did a little cool promo there from listener Stephanie Ruskinoff from Toledo. She won that contest, you and her.
Yes, sir. We did good, Stephanie. Hell yeah. Good
Hell
pick.
yeah.
Good pick.
Hell yeah. So you guys won, and so she gets to co-host, and that we'll talk about that a little bit more later on. So good to have you on here again, Joey.
Yeah.
What's up, man?
Still here.
Still here.
And you got your like desperado kind of bandana. Is that like double as your mask there? Is that what that's about?
Until I get a clown one to wear around.
You got to have that clown mask.
Yeah, I think that I'd be a little nervous as a cashier nowadays with everybody wearing masks like that.
Like,
I mean, that's fucked up.
I keep going into the post office and shit because I'm still sending out orders, and
Right.
It's like as long as I still get bills in my mailbox, I'm gonna keep bringing them shit and send out.
Right.
Compensate, but it's like I play it by like I'll walk in places and I'll look around, and if most motherfuckers are like they ain't got the mask on, or it's pretty chill, then I'm fine. But if I walk in, everybody looks like they're fucking ready for the apocalypse.
Right.
I'll play along and I'll put mine up, just not to freak someone out.
Yeah.
Like, these people are like 100 years old out here getting, like whatever
sure.
they need, and it's just like, I don't want to give you any more stress than what you're already dealing with. So.
Look at me and drop and have a heart attack right there.
Not to mention it, we get to look G Money for the first time
That's
without
right.
the cops fucking with us.
That's right.
Roll
Yeah,
around
it's
looking
legit.
gangsta.
Hell yeah, dude.
Now, last week was a good one. We did that feature on Aaron Hernandez, the former NFL star gone pistol packing drive-by killer.
Pow, pow, motherfucker.
Yeah, for sure. Pretty cold motherfucker. I mean, if I learned anything from learning about that guy, he was pretty
Heartless.
cold, man. And it was a good episode. We had CK on, of course, to talk some propane and some crumb suckers. That was cool. And talked about how that COVID-19 virus has the world of metal all fucked up like everybody else.
All over the world.
Just crazy, man. Plus, we had Joey Goremonger here talking about his fucked up neighbor, part one of that, which was pretty funny setup. So anxious tonight to hear the second part of that, Joey.
Yeah,
so
you'll be able to hear it.
Yeah, that's going to be good, man.
Mikey was here.
Yeah, Michael was here
That's
kicking
right.
with us last week.
That's
Fuck yeah,
right.
dude.
He was here. And we had the Killer Cage match, the usual stuff. So if you missed episode 94, go on and check that out. So CK is, of course, ready to go tonight. He's been talking about wanting to do this band for a while. Perfect episode. He's going to do some Vio-lence, man. They played the
FTA, dude. That
the
shit, when they
FTA
played,
last year,
off the
wasn't
chain,
it? Last year,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you said it was fucking brutal, huh?
It was ridiculous when Vio-lence was on stage.
Yeah.
CK's doing 2 hyphenated bands in a row.
That's right.
Propane and
Oh,
Vio-lence.
that's hilarious, dude. Yeah, that's funny, man. Yeah, so I'm anxious to hear from CK on that, another old school band. And we're going to be talking about that Murder in the Front Row documentary that just came out. And, of course, Vio-lence is part of that because it's about Bay Area thrash metal. And Vio-lence is part of that. That documentary was amazing. And so we'll talk more about that with CK. So that's going to be sick. And then, Chris, we did that interview with James from Jungle Rock.
Yes, sir, we did. That was a good fucking time, man. It was cool talking to him.
Yeah, he's really cool, man. He's definitely not down with this COVID-19 stuff.
Not down with it
Pretty
at all.
pissed, yeah. So it was definitely apparent in the interview, but no, it was really fun, and hell of a guy, hell of a bass player, and does the lyrics, been doing the lyrics for Jungle Rock. So that's cool.
About that, so
yeah, we talk a little bit about the new Jungle Rock coming up and some different things.
Songs coming in here and there, so fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah, it's like a 20-minute interview we did. So we've got about 8 or 9 minutes we'll play tonight, and then we'll offer up the full interview, probably open it up to the Patreon members at least first for at least 6 months maybe, and then eventually open it up to everybody else. So if you want to get in on that 666 Club, we talk about it all the time, but patreon.com/murder metal mayhem, and you can do that for $3. So, I mean, it's pretty small change, but that was a good interview. So I'm anxious to play a little clip of that. And then also we did that March Mayhem contest, man. And
yeah, dude, Stephanie, dude, like I said, good pick. We win.
Yeah, you guys won the whole thing. We got a list that we started with 16 killers, and then it went down to 1 champion, which is, of course,
Aileen Wuornos.
So we got the bobblehead out here. Definitely, perfect timing for that. We got that is kind of disturbing, isn't it, Joey?
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean,
I always said if Aileen could come back from the dead, she would be fucking infuriated
by that outfit.
Oh yeah,
yeah, the dominatrix outfit with the electric tape on her nipples, and she
would not be happy with
it. And
it
looks like her too, which is fucked up.
It does.
So Psycho Killer bobbleheads, I got to give it up for them, man. That was very cool. They sent that in. So anyway, we've got Wuornos tonight, and Stephanie, she won the contest, so she got to pick. And since Wuornos was the killer that won for you guys,
she decided, we're gonna fucking do Wuornos.
That's a good idea, because we haven't done that one yet. We talked about it, of course, but so that should be good. Get some drifter killing, some hooking, some shooting and killing, and all sorts of stuff.
Whacking it off.
She just she's a piece of fucking work. So it should be a good one. And this is a first to have a listener in with us doing the show. She'll be on Messenger and talking with us. So we did a test yesterday. She did fine. Dude. She's a little nervous, so
it's gonna be fun, dude.
But she's gonna be okay. So all right, so it's definitely gonna be good. And it is funny too that Highway 95 runs through Florida, and that's where some of the killings and the area she traveled was along that Highway 95. And of course this is episode 95, and I'm going to try to sound smart and say that that I meant to have that happen, but I honestly did not. I mean, it literally was like, oh wow, that's a weird coincidence. So
that's pretty cool. Cool.
Yeah,
shit like that haps to us a lot.
It does happen a lot. We've had a lot of weird things like that go down.
E95 to I-95.
So got a new Killer Cage match tonight. This is a really good one, Chris. I'm really psyched about this. Should be pretty funny. Got some listeners to thank, though, and I don't know if you got the list, because I think does yours just have a blank next to it?
Yeah, I think
so mine is updated, because I didn't get the updated list out to you guys just before the show. Is Justin Morris, Roger Smith, and Laura Kovac, CK's wife, for the random numbers. So we've got tonight, though, Chris, we got a good one coming up here. We got
dude, I don't even have
it doesn't have that on there either. No. I'm very sorry. I'm neglectful of my duties. It is John Wayne Gacy. I'm surprising even you guys. John Wayne Gacy going up against the Menendez brothers. Nice. So that should be pretty funny. And hopefully he could keep his hands off the Menendez brothers long enough to kill them.
Kind of cute, man.
I don't even think he's going to need any Viagra for that one.
I don't think so either.
No, he's just going to town on them boys. Call me Poppy.
So that should be funny as hell. And the objects are good. and the variables. So yeah, I think you guys got, unfortunately, the version right before I added that, so I'm sorry.
That's all good.
Oh boy, we got power flicker in here.
CK is pissed. Fuck.
Yeah, well, it's that storm, so hopefully we don't lose power here. So we've definitely got a lot going on. It should be a fun episode. Definitely. Thanks to everybody that's been listening, man. It's really crazy. We keep seeing those listeners coming in, people ordering the book, the coffee table book that should be nowhere near a coffee table. We got
Because it's
people
nasty,
ordering it.
bro.
It is nasty.
That book's how you get the COVID.
And they're only $10, man, plus $5 to ship it anywhere in the U.S. And if you're outside the U.S., just contact us on Facebook or email me at pete@murdermetalmayhem.com, and I'll do a PayPal invoice with the shipping to your location, so you'll know exactly what it'll cost. So
You a freaking awesome adult activity book.
yeah, color in some Ricky Casso, Joe Matheny, some body parts.
Them Rob Halford. Fucking,
Yeah,
dude.
I mean, it's a cool book. So you need to get a copy of that. But thanks to everybody that's out there listening. We had about 2,500 listens totally last week, which is great. Seeing countries like Russia and Iran in the top 10 is so fucked up. Also,
pretty messed up.
yeah, Iran is definitely an odd one, unless it's some military people, and I don't know if we have military. I have no fucking idea. Also, the UK, Iceland, Ireland, Sweden, and Italy. And then, of course, the top 3 are pretty much always the U.S., Canada, and Australia. So
Fucking A.
we
Those
appreciate
Aussies
it.
love us.
Yeah, they do. They do love us down there because one of their cities is in the top 10 cities listening, which is really awesome. We got 2 cities in Canada, Cambridge, Ontario, which is funny, Joey. You pointed that out from Paul Bernardo's stomping grounds.
Oh, yeah.
And then Winnipeg, Manitoba. So thanks, guys. That's awesome. And Dallas has been kind of like hanging around in spot 3 or 4 on that list, which, of course, Danbury, Bloomington, and Chicago are 3, 2, 1. So
I saw Bloomington crept back up again. It's good.
yeah,
Oh, yeah. Bloomington getting back up in
Yeah,
there.
it's always bullshit when we start slipping.
I know.
Motherfuckers need to represent.
I know. It's kind of like our hometown of sorts. So thanks to everybody. We are just past 198,000 total listens. So we're shooting
Oh, man, we're
Well,
close.
5 more
200,000.
episodes. Well, 4, and then
Oh, we're good. We're going to make it.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're going to do it. We should, at the pace we keep, we should be able to break that. And we want to do that by June 9th, which is the 100th podcast. So that's going to be cool. And speaking of the 100th podcast, Chris, we did another interview this weekend with who?
Yes,
did we
with
do this one?
Christopher St. Booth from Spook TV.
Yeah, that was cool,
doing
man.
that for the 100th episode on demonic possession. And
Yeah.
we talked to him before at the convention, but like we actually talked to him, like just him without the background noise. We actually had a
it was
good
nice.
conversation with him. It was awesome, dude.
Yeah, he had some really cool stories, too, about some really creepy shit that's happened to him on set.
Fuck yeah.
So very interesting guy. He's got the musical background. He sang in a band, and he's done music and art and fucking writes books. I mean, he's very, very knowledgeable. So perfect for that demonic possession episode. So
He knows a lot about it. So
he does, and I think it shines in that interview. So we'll play a clip of that in the 100th podcast, and then the full interview. That interview was almost 50 minutes long.
Right.
That was a very long interview, and it was great. And that will also be available at some point for our Patreon members, and then eventually for everybody else down the road. So we'll be recording the 100th podcast in a couple weeks.
with the Black Crip boys.
Yeah, that's going to be fucking cool. Have a little cookout afterward and hang out and just kind of catch up on what we've all been doing in the quote-unquote quarantine time,
Maybe have a little drinky drink.
or two. And that will be posted the second week in June, as I mentioned. Now, I spoke with Tony Campagna today, Chris, and I had sent him a text of an idea that I had, which I shared with you, but I'm not going to tell the listeners yet. I shared this I said, "Hey, Tony, did you?" Or he sent me a text and said, "Hey, I got your text, and I've got an idea. I'm working on it." So,
Fuck yeah, dude.
So he's doing something. I have no idea what. But did you see the freaking Christ?
Yeah, the Jesus
beheaded
head,
thing?
dude. That was so
with the
awesome,
crown of
dude.
thorns and shit. Oh my
Dude, it was so good.
God, what the fuck? So
It's
Tony
so good. I'll have
Campagna.
to post a picture of that on the page. That way people see. Like,
Oh
it's good
yeah,
shit.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
fucking badass, dude.
Yeah, it is. Spellboundeffectsandart.com, Tony's company, creating some amazing, sick artwork with silicone. He'll make friggin' aprons, hats, lamps, body parts, all sorts of just grisly shit. We've posted pictures of the lamp we got here. Chris, I mean, that thing always gets looks.
Always, dude.
When
Nate-
people come
Nate
in
was
here,
looking
they're
at
like,
it like-
what the fuck?
Yeah, and he came out Sunday, gave me the ride out. He walked in here, he's like, "Holy shit, dude!" Like, it was
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah, and the arm, we've had that out
yeah.
on our table before. People take pictures and shit with
Spellbound's
it.
got the shit.
Yeah, so spellboundeffectsandart.com, again, go check it out. Spend some of that government stimulus money out there with Tony. Well, Chris, we got Stephanie patiently
Fuck yeah.
waiting
About to talk stuff.
in Toledo. Going to talk some drifter killing hooker, killing her customers along highways of Florida. So what do we got to
Fuck
do,
yeah.
man?
Let's get our hitchhiking prostitute murder on.
Sounds like a plan. Fuck yeah, man. Old school Venom. Countess Bathory special for the fucked up feature we got tonight.
Yeah, we got Dominus staring
Crazy
right
shit.
at us, thanking us for it.
That's right. That's right. And we've got Stephanie Ruskinoff here from Toledo, Ohio on Messenger. What's up, Steph?
Hey guys, how's it going?
Not bad. How are you doing, Steph?
I'm good. Excited to be here.
Hell yeah, we're glad you're here. Hell yeah.
And you're with all this COVID shit going on, you're essential, right? So you're working like normal, or has it affected you, or?
No, I do CAT scans for a living, so.
Oh, shit.
Okay, so
Yeah.
So you are essential for sure.
Yeah.
Wow. So you get a deal. You in a hospital setting then?
yeah. So
Oh,
we see
wow.
the COVID a lot. Yeah.
Oh wow. Well,
Okay.
thanks for what you're
yeah,
doing.
thanks for
That's-
what you're doing, and stay safe and take care of
big
yourself
time.
on that
yeah,
one, man.
I've been, we're just, a couple of schlubs here, but yeah,
still
you're
go to
doing
work.
some important stuff.
Yeah, you're doing real important stuff. I work at a place that makes glasses all day long, so
Oh yeah, I got some of those for the COVID.
Yeah. Well, very cool. We got Joey Goremonger in here with us. Joey, good to have you here always.
Still here.
You're still here. I
Still
still
here.
haven't evicted you formally yet, but you're still here, and you're doing good. You picked up, so you ran the vacuum in here. So thank you. It
Yeah,
looks very nice.
yeah.
And
it's because he was looking for his lost crack rocks, man.
now, Steph and Chris won the March Mayhem contest last month, so she's claiming her prize, which was to co-host a murder segment with us and pick the topic. So, Steph, what made you pick Aileen Wuornos for the feature for this episode?
Well, she helped me win the contest, so
Right.
that's one reason. Actually, she's one of the first true crime serial killer documentaries I really got into. So,
Right, that's cool. That's cool.
yeah.
Was
So
it-
she kind of got me into everything.
Was
That's
it
cool.
because she was female, and you're like, yeah, I want to be just like that?
Well, maybe not exactly,
Not
but a little bit.
exactly
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. Right.
Yeah, I mean, she definitely breaks the mold with female serial killers, which often are like poison,
Yeah.
insurance scams, hiring a hitman type of things. But going out and actually killing dudes with a gun, especially, pretty brutal, man.
That's what I was saying to Chris last night. I was like, even, in comparison going on, there's been a lot more female killers and stuff. There's never really been anyone like her.
No, not really.
She was super unique in everything she
Oh,
did.
yeah.
And, yeah.
Definitely. And I think Joey, that's what seems to draw so much attention to her. Is
Oh, yeah.
She killed like males kill, so definitely different. And she is one of the more notorious female serial killers that's ever been, with 7 male victims scattered across the highways of Florida, 1989, 1990. She was the murdering prostitute who killed her Johns by shooting them at point-blank range. And her story is sad, though, with a fucked up childhood.
Was outrageous, dude.
Yeah,
Holy
I mean,
shit,
really
man.
bad. And she definitely had a rough life that led to her being executed in Florida. And we'll dig in deep on this one.
We'll get there. It's
yeah.
going to be interesting as fuck.
Now, Chris, we get this lovely bobblehead here, and I think
that we
our
mentioned earlier.
listeners, we've mentioned her before, but our listeners need to fully get this.
You gotta
So I'd like you to
understand.
describe this to the
You want me
listener.
to put? All right,
yeah, I really want you
Stephanie,
to
have you
head
seen
to
the pictures
toe.
of the Aileen Wuornos bobblehead we got? It is insane. Her face straight up looked like Aileen Wuornos with the hair and everything.
Right.
And then the dominatrix outfit with the corset, and then with her titties out, and then just the black tape over her nipples, and the chain
Right.
wrapping around the little short booty shorts.
Yeah.
It's just crazy. It's like I
Yeah.
would never think of Aileen Wuornos that way.
Not at all. That's what makes it so perfect. So we've got that as our inspiration here as we forge on. So she was born Eileen Carol Pittman on February 29th, 1956. So she got one of those leap year birthdays. That could be maybe a sign,
Maybe that's why she did think she did. She wasn't so smart because she wasn't her age.
Right? Born every 4 years, she had a birthday. Her mother was only 14 when she gave birth to Eileen in Rochester, Michigan. Father was only 16 at the time, so very young, obviously. Marriage didn't last long, and they were divorced before she was even born, which that's fucked up.
And Dad was like a convicted sex offender. And
He
shit.
was. He was a pretty bad fucking dude.
Yeah, he
man.
wasn't good at all.
No, 'cause he was
suspected of a murder,
incarcerated.
he wasn't a good dude at all himself. So there's that.
Yeah, sex crimes against kids, which is fucked up, and diagnosed as a schizophrenic. So definitely not coming from a good gene pool here. 1960, her mother abandons her and leaves her with her grandparents, Lori and Britta Wuornos, who would later adopt her, and she would take their last name. Her brother Keith also lived with them. 1969, though, her father kills himself in prison. He hangs himself. So she's having a rough fucking childhood here. And Steph, and we hear this a lot.
And she thought the whole time that her fucking grandparents were her actual parents, too. They didn't
Right.
find out until later that they weren't her real parents. That's
Yeah, and we've
pretty
heard
fucked
that
up.
before. Bundy, we've
Yeah.
heard some of those where
Yeah,
they
that
really
shit's
flip
pretty
the fuck
fucked up.
out, And Steph, we hear this a lot with serial killers with these really bad childhoods, and she definitely checks all the boxes there. Pretty bad so far.
Yeah, like you said before, it's definitely a pattern with, serial killers, that non-nurturing childhood that they have.
Right. Yeah, most of them come from that type of background, but of course not all of them, though. We've done some, Joey, that were like Raider.
Yeah.
There's been some that we've done that are fairly normal, pretty typical type upbringing.
But then they have that
just-
other side, dude. that
Something
just
fucking snaps
snaps.
somewhere, something in that brain of theirs goes crazy. So definitely really whacked out. By age 11, Eileen's doing some really bad shit. She's drinking, she's smoking, she's doing drugs. She's having sex for money with the neighborhood kids. Now, some of these fucking stories are fucked up,
Yeah, if you
man.
can get deep into it, dude, some
God
of it's
almighty.
literally trading sexual favors for cigarettes, dude.
Yeah, they called her the Sig
Sig
Pig, which is fucking sad, man, that
is
they would
sad.
call her that. It's some pretty nasty shit, and
And,
definitely very
it
degrading.
It made
It's
the
awful.
kids not want to be her friend too because she did that. So it's
Right.
like hanging out. They'd be like, "Yeah, I don't want to be associated with her like that. I just get off because I can with her."
Yeah,
which
it's
is fucked up, dude.
Yeah, it's really sick. She would claim that her grandfather was an alcoholic and he was sexually abusing her, often as a child, beating her, and at times forcing her to strip off her clothes for him. And at age 14, Aileen is raped by a friend of her grandfather's, and she gets pregnant. So, I mean, it's just one horrible thing after another. I mean, Chris, here you go with the fucked up childhood going into those teen years, and now you start to get into alcohol, drug abuse. It sounds like she's obviously heading down the path to a rough life.
I mean, it sounds good to me. Shit.
Sounds like your morning and afternoon so far, right?
No, that's definitely not good, though. 11 years old and you're already all like that, dude. It's definitely not fucking cool.
No, not at all. Not at all. She would give birth to a son at home at a home for unwed mothers in March of 1971, which is weird how they used to do that. I know when I was in high school, there was a girl that got pregnant and she vanished for a long time,
No shit.
Yeah, it's the same kind of thing. But I would have been at the very end of that, I think, because you guys probably don't.
Yeah,
that was past,
when I was in high school, there was a girl that was
much.
pregnant. She was at school.
Yeah.
Whatever.
The first girl I ever knew to get pregnant in my class was 7th grade.
Jesus.
Goddamn.
Yeah. but she had the baby, you know, just had it, and that was just what happened.
What about you, Stephanie? Is that something pretty common with you?
Well, I went to Catholic school, but I remember, in 8th grade, we had a couple of girls that got pregnant at 13, and you never saw them again. So
yeah, that's pretty messed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And so, dropping out of school, this kind of thing's just not setting her up for any sort of success whatsoever. And it's hard to imagine anybody rolling out of any of this. If you start stacking all this stuff one up after the other, the sexual abuse, the awful upbringing, all these different things. I mean, no parents, thought your grandparents were your parents, all this stuff happening. It's a complete spiral down.
Yeah, you lose any sense of trust that you would have.
Yeah.
And you're just building hatred.
Yeah.
Toward
daily.
everything.
Yeah.
When you don't get that affection the first 3 years of your life, I mean, it fucks with your entire life after that. You need that.
Well, it's like Stephanie said, about the nurturing thing or lack of nurturing.
Yeah, that, exactly.
Perfect.
That's exactly it,
point to make, Chris, also. Yeah, I mean, just they don't have that, which is fucked up. Because we look at that as just a normal thing, but to somebody like this, who's raised in this fucked up situation, has no idea. Now, you just start adding up one bad thing after another. Her grandmother, who she was very close to, dies of liver failure, so she's crushed. And her grandfather can't fucking deal with the wild 15-year-old girl who's probably physically able to whip his ass, so he can't take her out back and do any of that. I mean, she's just going to kick his ass.
Pretty big dude.
And he was abusing her, but I mean, she gets to that age, she might have been able to fight back. Yeah. So he may have just not wanted to deal with her. And so he just tells her to fucking leave. I mean, just get out.
Now she's
throws
living
her out
in
of
the
the
damn
house.
woods.
Yeah, I mean, that's awful.
Living in a car down the street,
especially in Michigan, man. Holy fuck, man. That's fucking cold up there. Yeah. I mean, other than summer and maybe some spring, you'd be freezing your ass off in the woods or in the cars or wherever. And she's still doing, performing sex for money. And she's living in the woods and just wherever she could find a place. So, Steph, this is just some awful shit. I mean, it doesn't seem like she even stood a chance at any kind of normalcy.
Yeah, one of the craziest things I think about this story is that she lived in a fucking car in the woods in Michigan.
Right.
We're all from the Midwest. Winters are brutal.
Yeah.
Yes.
No wonder she was giving blowjobs for booze. She was probably trying to stay warm in her car.
Right. Yeah. It's fucked up, but you're right. I mean, I would think, man, I'd fucking get somewhere warm at least.
Yeah, even I'll come to you and
I'd
do this
start
at your
walking,
house
you
if I
know?
can sleep there. 'Cause fuck.
I'd just start walking south if it were me.
You gotta
I mean,
imagine you
Jesus
gotta end
Christ.
up in Florida at some point.
Well, yeah. Isn't that like white trash Mecca down there? You know? Tony, if you're listening, tell us, is that white trash Mecca down there where you are, buddy, in South Miami? Yeah, I love him sending pictures and shit of stuff down there. And
Right.
it's freezing fucking cold up here, and he's hanging out on his back deck with a beer. You know, like, fuck you, man. My dad does that shit too down in Arizona. Loves sending pictures of grilling out in January.
Yeah,
you know?
we're
And I'm
like, God
fuck
damn
you."
it, I fucking hate you,
Freezing
Dad.
my ass off. And Chris, a common thing, you know, we talk about often, the kids raised by grandparents who that can't deal with them, and it's very sad, you know. I mean,
Hey, man, all I'm saying is I've watched my dad try to throw my kid away once. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding.
oh, come on now.
But no, I mean, I get the not being able to deal with things, but not to that degree.
Right.
Fuck that. Like,
Yeah.
parents and grandparents get upset. I'm not a grandparent, but
Yeah. I
Shit.
mean, I have a grandson and a granddaughter, and I can't even imagine, you know, being in a situation like that. I mean, it's fucked
especially
up.
if you're a piece of shit. Well, I mean, that's the problem. He's a piece of shit already himself. So
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I mean, he was abusing her at a young age, and he's just awful himself. But, you know, he's not going to want to deal with her as she gets older. And like I said, able to actually fight back and stand up for herself. But, you know, to turn her out into the street is just, it's terrible. So,
I think other cases too, like sometimes there's like a disassociation between the grandparent and then the kid, where they can never feel like they can relate to them because maybe age gap or, you know.
oh,
there's
sure.
definitely
Right.
that. Yeah.
So
Oh,
then, you know, there's one way to look at it, like this case with Aileen, where he's just like, I can't deal with it, get away, leave.
Right.
And then there's like, if you look at like Jeffrey Dahmer, living with his grandma, probably the whole reason he got away with some of the shit he did was because she just didn't know how to deal with anything he was doing anyway.
Right.
So she didn't pry probably at all.
Just left him
Right.
So
alone
he
like
has
I
a
don't
fucking
want to
severed
know.
head in
Yeah.
his goddamn closet. You know,
Right. Sure. That's true, man. Cause
buried the body under her porch and shit. you
Yeah,
know.
because it's a young man's game to fucking deal with grandkids, man. Well, my grandson, he's a little older now, but when they're like 2 and 3, fuck, man, that's a full-time job keeping an eye on a 2 or 3-year-old all into shit, you know. And the kid, you know, the house isn't kid-proof like it was, you know, when
Right.
I had little ones around. So you got to fucking constantly watch them. As they get older and they could chill a little bit, it's not as much intense, you know.
Right.
So I mean, it's exhausting. You know?
Now I just asked my 10-year-old if she wants a shot.
Yeah, right. You're pretty liberal with the kids, but I know you draw the line.
I
at that.
definitely
know
do
you
not
just
do that.
couldn't
No,
do
I
that.
definitely
know
do
that.
not do that.
I know that. Now, I saw one of the docs where the childhood friends were interviewed, and they would say, you know, that she was a decent enough person, but had her times where violence would show up and she couldn't keep it under wraps. I mean, you see that a lot, like at the worst possible time. One friend that was there with her the night that she was executed seemed to stand by her pretty well. She was the one that took her ashes and scattered the
Dawn.
ashes for her. Yeah, Dawn.
Yeah, Dawn.
Yeah, and you know, as
Some
mean
of the
and
letters-
wicked as she was, you know, you almost feel sorry for her in a way. You know, it's just
Seen some of
nobody
the
gave a
letters
fuck.
that she wrote to Dawn and shit. Like,
Yeah.
like they're pretty intense. Like some of the shit she's talking about.
Right.
Like, yeah, it's pretty fucked up.
Yeah. And I mean, as Aileen turns 18, she begins her life of crime with an arrest in 1974 for DUI, disorderly conduct, and shooting a .22 out of a moving vehicle. Joey, this sounds like a party at Shawback Nation. What do you think, man?
Yeah,
What?
sure does.
Including the shooting the .22 out of a vehicle.
No.
Doing night pops. Now, I mean,
No, but it was a 45.
at least Aileen kept it. She kept it consistent because she ended up shooting the people with the 22.
Yeah,
Oh,
she
that's
did.
right.
She
Yeah.
did keep her weapon of choice.
Yeah,
That's what serial killers do, right?
right?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So, yeah, so she starts out, you know, with a bang, so to speak. 1976, she hitchhikes to Florida. So she finally gets smart. fucking leaves the
Yeah.
freaking cold.
Fuck that snow.
Head south.
Right, get the fuck out of here. I'm gonna be
meet-
homeless. I'm gonna be homeless where it's fucking warm. God damn it.
Now, I thought this was hilarious. She meets the 69-year-old fucking dude, a yacht club president.
This was her one shot, I feel.
Right.
In my opinion, this was her shot.
Yeah.
You know?
At fucking getting out of everything, like
marry that dude and ride him out till he's gone, and then, you
Yeah,
know.
is this like the fancy song, like the
Right.
Reba McEntire fancy don't let it down? You know,
the
like
fuck out of here.
Reba fucking whatever telling her, man, you got one shot. Like fucking go for it. 69-year-old fucking yacht club
Yeah.
president. Lewis fell.
Oh,
I'm fucking
shit.
like, what the hell?
Oh, he fell.
Yeah, the nuptials are printed in the local paper, and she's immediately in the fucking like social spotlight, which is kind of funny.
I mean, if you look at every aspect of her life before this point and after this point,
Right.
and you look at her timeline, there's just this one weird spot where it just spikes.
Yeah,
You know,
And
it's
it
like,
could have been perfect.
Like, oh my god, you were eating normal, I bet,
Right.
And, you know,
You had to-
taking showers.
Yeah.
And fucking, what the fuck? Holy
right.
shit!
Yeah.
She's
It-
like, fuck that life. I'd
But it
rather-
doesn't take her long to fuck it up, though.
Right, that's what-
She gets all drunk in the bar. She's jailed for assault. She hits her husband with his own
Yeah,
cane.
like beats him with it like fucking bad. Beats like this bitch is psycho. Fuck.
He gets a restraining order against
and
her
he
like
gets the
a
marriage
few
annulled and
weeks
shit.
after the fucking marriage. Like,
Yeah,
God damn.
like,
There's
what
no
did I
honeymoon
do?
period
You ain't
here.
getting
at
my
all.
money, bitch.
Damn. She decides to say fuck it and goes back to Michigan, which is stupid, Joey. She's already south.
Yeah.
She should just stay down there, you know. So, I mean, Steph, the marriage doesn't last long. I don't think is, much surprise there. But the guy is lucky that all he got was hit with a fucking cane, won't you say?
Oh yeah. Like I'm surprised she was even married at all. Like I can't imagine
know.
Aileen Wuornos married.
No, it seems fucking
me
weird.
either.
You look at her.
Now, I know as she got older, she, got with the drugs, got really rough.
Right.
So, I
She-
mean, this would have been early enough where maybe, she would have been halfway decent looking to a
There's a
fucking
couple pictures. I'm like,
69-year-old
all right,
dude.
I could see it.
A
Especially
69-year-old
69-year-old
dude,
Yeah, that dude
fuck
be
it.
like, oh,
I
shit,
don't know,
balling.
man. It's still
I
like
imagine
Stephanie
her-
said.
I
Can't
imagine
imagine
her
it.
as that barfly in the bar that's
Oh,
talking
yeah.
shit to everybody all the time.
Oh yeah.
Oh, totally, yeah. Yes, definitely. Most of us know that type.
And
see him
she
in the
ran
bar.
into a Captain Save-A-Ho, and she fucking beat him with his own cane.
Captain Save-A-Ho.
She fucked it up.
She did.
She did.
She did fuck that all up. She had her shot, man.
She did, man.
So anyway, she's arrested again for throwing a cue ball at a bartender's head, which is fucking crazy. In July of that year, her brother Keith would die of cancer, and Aileen inherits $10,000 from some life insurance. So Chris, I'm sure she spent that money
Yeah.
very responsibly.
No. It took her like 2 months or something to spend 10,000.
Burn through it.
I ain't gonna lie, you're a drifting hooker, dude. Fucking, if you ain't got to go fucking suck a dick for the next 2 months,
Right.
like for real though, like hell yeah, vacation.
Yeah, I mean I can imagine she just pissed that away pretty fast.
And that's like, and Keith was probably one of the closest people to her, and she like loved him, but at the same time, like he was
Super
sleeping
sick.
with her too, right?
Right.
Raping her or whatever. So it's like her closest people are still fucking predators.
Right.
So that's how fucked up your life is.
Yeah, for sure, man.
That's your life too. That's
Yeah.
all. That's what you know.
Because she's like, yeah, he did terrible shit, but fuck you, that's still my brother. I still love him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you. That's
She
fucked.
ends up back in Florida, and she does 2 years in prison from 1982 to 83 for armed robbery.
She used a 22 in that too. She walked on that gas station with the 22.
She did, yeah. She stayed with that, man. She's busted in 84 for forging checks in Key West. Was a suspect of theft with a gun and ammunition in 85. In 86, she's busted for car theft in Miami. Maybe she was going to Tony's house. I'm not sure. Plus resisting arrest and obstruction of justice. And how the fuck she didn't just stay in prison, I have no fucking idea. She's busted again later in 86 for pulling a gun on a guy in a car and demanding $200.
I only got 199. I said 200, motherfucker.
Right? The police found a gun and ammunition in her car. So, I mean, Steph, do you think prison overcrowding is the reason why she wasn't in a prison cell? I mean, my God.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe she's got a fast mouth on her and told some bullshit about some Visine or something. I'm not sure.
I don't know, because man, you run through the list like that. I mean, Christ Almighty, man, that's a lot of shit, Joey.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
You know, they're pulling this shit up. You'd think you'd see all those priors, and she'd be doing some time. You know.
But you know, the thing is too is Florida's a state full of fucking convicts itself. So
true.
Everybody down there's on some bullshit, so they got to fucking kind of sift through and weed
there
out.
you go.
You know? But
Yeah.
I mean, at the same time, it's like you were talking about overcrowding, like in a woman's facility. I wouldn't think that would be that big of an issue.
You wouldn't think,
but
you
they
know?
do have a lot of prostitutes down there.
Right.
So I don't
True.
know.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's pretty crazy. Now, Joey, this was when Aileen would meet the love of her life,
Yes.
Tyra Moore. They met at a Daytona Beach lesbian bar. They wound up moving in together.
Yep.
So she's supporting them, Aileen is, with the money she makes hooking. And apparently Tyra's all about the money, encouraged her to prostitute so they could party in the bars every night. So she even, Aileen, I remember one of the interviews I watched.
Yeah, I know you.
She talks about it.
Dude, I'm sorry, but I just watched Monster last night, dude.
Yeah.
Like, when I went picturing Tyra, I picture Christina Ricci,
Now it
but at the
just
same time, but at the same time, it's like that's not her. Stop.
Because then we watched the real docs, and you're like, yeah.
A little
I
different.
was like, holy shit.
I said they should have used like fucking,
Chaz
Philip Seymour
Bono or
Hoffman.
something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So very, very interesting casting there. So, you know, Eileen's supporting them both, but Tyra likes to party. 87, the two of them would get in some trouble assaulting someone at a bar with a beer bottle. But no matter what, Aileen would say that she loved Tyra all the way up into her execution, even though, you know, Tyra would testify against her, which is fucked up. Now, Steph, this is when the killing begins, and Aileen would do her best to shield Tyra from the cops. But do you think Tyra was more involved with the murders than Aileen would tell the police?
Oh, definitely. Like,
You think so?
I feel like, oh yeah, I feel like she knew what she was doing. She wasn't involved directly,
Right.
but she knew that she was making more money, so she was all for it, so they could go out and party and shit.
Okay. What do you think, Chris? You agree with her? in that?
I totally agree with that. There's no way she couldn't know. I mean, she's coming home with a new fucking car every goddamn other day or whatever. Saying,
See,
somebody
originally
let me
I was
borrow
thinking
it.
no, but I think you're right. I mean, how do you not know?
Yeah, all this money, we're partying all the time. I got a different car every day, every other day, or whatever
Right.
the fuck. Like,
Yeah.
and then it turns bad because of one of the cars.
Right. Yeah, for sure, dude. That's how
But
she
yeah,
winds
she
up.
had to know though.
Yeah, I would think so, Joey. What do you think on that?
Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember who it was. Fucking Jeffrey Lundgren, his fucking wife or whatever. But she was talking about something that always stuck out in my mind. She was talking about the murders that they did, and she was like, "Yeah, maybe I didn't know directly. I wasn't told directly, but you would have to be a moron not to know what was going on." And
Right.
in this case, I feel like the same way. Like Tyra, maybe she wasn't at any of the scenes, or
Right.
I have no idea.
But she had to know.
But you knew a little bit more than what the fuck you were letting on.
Yeah, I mean, there's been
Especially
some
after
we've
you-
done, like Iceman. His
Yeah.
wife was another one of these, like, had no fucking idea.
Right.
BTK. Although she did have some sort of idea he was a little weird because she'd walked in
Yeah.
on him in some weird attire before. But, you hear these stories of these women that are completely clueless, but all three of us, or four of us, I should say, Stephanie included, all agree that she definitely had some sort of involvement, but maybe not at the scene, but she was aware of...
Definitely did not let
that she was
authorities
killing
know
people.
what was going on.
As soon as she knew anything, she could have fucking brought it to the authorities.
Yeah, she definitely got away with some shit.
Right.
So I'm going to run through the victims here. Each of them were men that were picked up or that had picked her up as a prostitute in 89 and 1990. They were men in their 40s, 50s, and 60s. The first victim was Richard Mallory, who was actually a convicted rapist. I found that very interesting. Aileen would claim she killed him in self-defense. His body was found with several bullet holes 100 yards away from his abandoned car. And then there was David Spears, the construction worker. His naked body would be found on Route 19 in Citrus County with 6 bullet holes. And then you got Charles Karskadin. That's a weird last name. Was a part-time rodeo worker. That's kind of interesting.
How are you a part-time rodeo
I don't know,
worker?
man.
What do you do with the other part of your time?
I don't know. Make doilies? I'm not sure, man. I have no fucking idea. His body found in an electric blanket, badly decomposed. She had used his car and pawned a gun that belonged to him. So that's pretty crazy. You got Peter Sims, retired merchant seaman. Get some really interesting
clientele.
Yeah, very strange, diverse group here. Devoted his life to Christian ministry. I thought that was pretty funny. He strayed a little bit from the flock, I guess, The body was never found, but Eileen's fingerprints were in the car. Troy Burris, it's funny, I went to school with a guy by that name, but I don't think it's the same one. A sausage salesman from Ocala. Like, what the hell? You can't make this shit up.
Oh, wait, that's fucked up, dude.
Yeah. What? You like you're having like an epiphany.
Oh, dude, no, I'm stupid, dude. She bought the sausage, though.
Kind of, yeah.
He paid for
he sold her the sausage.
Yeah, he sold her the sausage. Yeah.
His body was found off Highway 19 with 2 bullet holes. Dick Humphreys was a retired Air Force major, former police chief. I thought that was funny. And a state of Florida child abuse investigator. His body was found, shot 6 times. Walter Antonio was the last victim. He was a truck driver and reserve police officer. So these cops is kind of funny.
It is kind of fucked up that those so many law enforcement on this.
For sure. Shot 4 times. So that's a total, Chris, of 7. That's one about every 3 months, man. She's pretty fucking busy.
I mean, you got to pump them numbers up, bro.
Steph, what do you think about the excuse that Aileen gave about it being in self-defense?
Oh, yeah. So me and my mom actually watched the testimony that she gave right before, and she was talking about the rubbing alcohol in the Visine bottle, and she said, he put it up her butt and her nose and her eyes and everything.
Oh my God.
It was so off the wall. My mom was like, I feel like a 4-year-old is telling this story, dude.
Yeah, I've heard that before. Just the way she talks is like a child almost.
It's so strange. You don't know what to believe. It was kind of believable, but at the same time, it was so outlandish. You couldn't believe it.
Yeah. She just comes across so fucking kooky. That's the problem, is you can't believe a word she says. It was the 4th of July, 1990, when Aileen and Tyra would land themselves in the news. They're involved in an accident. They flee the scene, but a witness describes them to the police, and these sketches are passed around. The sketch of Tyra is kind of funny. It's like, how the fuck did you identify anybody from that? It looks like a cartoon character.
It looks like something. Okay, my 10-year-old would have.
Yeah, I was like, who the fuck did those sketches? So it's kind of funny. It's kind of like the Unabomber one. That one was really funny.
With the hood and shit. Wait, you can recognize a dude from that? That looks like most of the people I hang out with right now, dude.
But a witness describes them, and these sketches get out. Police would find Eileen's fingerprints on some of the stolen items that were pawned. And, of course, she's got all her fingerprints on file with the local cops, so they know all about her.
And that was the witnesses, wasn't it? The people, they wrecked their car.
I think
They
so,
were
yeah.
driving. Tyra wrecked the car.
Tyra wrecked the car, yeah,
That
exactly.
Somebody saw them, and then whenever they talked to the police later, they gave them the sketch. That became the infamous awesome sketches of them.
Yeah, for sure. That's funny. Yeah, I mean, just crazy stuff. 1991, Aileen would get arrested on an outstanding warrant while she was drinking at the Last Resort Bar in Volusia County. Tyra got busted the following day in Scranton, Pennsylvania, and she agreed to help the police to take Aileen down in exchange for immunity. So, Chris, this is a huge slap in the face. Again, another letdown, another betrayal of Aileen. She really loved Tyra, and that had to just kill her when she found out about that.
Yeah, it'd be pretty fucked up. Like the movie, it shows that like Aileen told her to do it, like Monster, because like I said, I just watched it last night. First time I ever seen it. It was a good movie, but did that actually happen? Did Aileen tell her to fucking like everybody that? Well, no, she did in her confession. She's like straight up, like I did this. It wasn't nobody else.
Yeah, she tried to take all the blame. Yeah.
Yeah, like don't get anybody else. So like, was it actually something that Tyra did to her? Like if she told her to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was one of those. She told her to do it, but I don't think she thought she was going to do it to that degree, and then to get up on the witness stand and everything,
And straight point at her and shit.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, what do you think, Joey?
Oh, I think regardless, like that's what happened pretty much. But I would think that's got to be one of the hardest situations.
Oh, definitely
For Aileen, of course, because she's the victim in that case.
Right.
As far as that relationship and her friend turning on her, not that she's the victim, she killed the people,
Right.
But with Tyra, it can't be as bad because she's out in the free world and she's moving on with her life, and it still probably sucks because she had feelings for this person. But man, Aileen, like right then, you don't even want to be alive,
Yeah.
No, that's fuck. Yeah.
And Tyra's put up by the police in a Florida motel. She gets Aileen on the phone with the cops recording it, and this is where she gets her to say some incriminating things on the phone. And then 3 days later, Aileen confesses to the murders, as you guys were talking about, but tries to clear Tyra by accepting all of the blame. So she would say it was self-defense for a period of time, but eventually, even then, she finally comes, I guess, somewhat clean. I mean, she's still a fucking pathological liar, but I think she came fairly clean there toward the end.
Well, and at the end, she was coming overly clean because what she was trying to do is just fucking kill me.
Right.
She didn't want them to have zero reason for that governor to call and stop it.
True. That's a good point, dude, because I would agree with that.
But the way
man.
she acted was still like blatantly like, okay, it's,
You're fucking nuts.
Yeah, you're lying to an extent or exaggerating.
Right.
So it was hard to tell.
Yeah, I agree, dude. Now, Steph, the police are definitely smart to use Tyra against her. It looks like it worked just as they planned.
Yeah, I mean, like how you said, Pete, she's definitely a pathological liar. But, I listened to the confession tape with her and Tyra. And, like, I feel like that was the only time you could tell she was ever being honest in her life. Like, she really loved Tyra. And I think if it weren't for Tyra, she wouldn't have ever confessed to anything.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
You're probably right. And I don't think they would have, well, they had her fingerprints, but it's certainly not anything more than that, I don't think, to link her to those crimes other than that.
I don't know. And, I don't even think the bodies had any kind of forensic evidence on them. For that time period, maybe not.
Yeah, a lot of them were super decayed and shit. So like,
yeah, very, very interesting. I don't know if she would have, as Steph points out, I mean, if she wouldn't have confessed, you wonder if they would have even had enough to put this on her. I don't know.
It's pretty messed up.
Because, that's obviously, that's what did her in.
Yeah,
was her
well,
confessions.
and then it's also the question, like the whole just behind part of the story is, was her love for this person for the first time in her life that it was accepting her, was that the reason that she was able to push herself to do something so extreme to try to get the means to
have that money?
Right. Maybe she wouldn't have done that if she was just on her own.
That's true, man. That's a good point.
But you don't know, though. So.
Of course, yeah, of course. So I think that's an interesting points we brought up there. I think I'd never really looked at it that way, that she might not have done this at all had it not been for her desire to have as much money as she could to keep Tyra happy and keep Tyra drunk at the bar.
The same kind of question, would Paul Bernardo have moved on to murder if it weren't for Carla?
Right.
Giving up her sister for him.
Certain
things pushing people that might never have been that extreme.
Yeah, Hillside Stranglers would be another one, Would those two have done that independently? Or was it
once they got together, it's just like, hey, dude, I got this thought.
Yeah.
I do too.
Yeah, well, we talked about our schedule coming up for the summer. We got the Moores murders on the list. I mean, that's another good one like that. Yeah. So the couples and the pairs are very interesting. The way they work together, I think, to me, is very fascinating. So a year later, 1992, the trial begins for the murder of Richard Mallory. The defense would say that she was mentally unstable and had a personality disorder. She would be convicted and sentenced to death 3 days later. May of 92, she would be tried for 3 more murders, and she pled no contest so she could get right with God. I thought that was kind of funny.
My friend.
They always throw that in there. And she was given 3 more life sentences. Judge is like, fuck you, 3 more life sentences. And June of 1992, she was given another life sentence for a total of 5. So you could kill her 5 fucking times, Chris. If it doesn't work the first time, man, just keep fucking going, man.
I love the fucking multiple death sentences still to this day.
Yeah, it is kind of funny. I mean, I know why they do it, in case some technicality gets them out of one.
Yeah, you're still here for this one. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And also, too, like you just said, it's like you're evening up the score, so the families feel like their loved one didn't die for nothing. At least they got another death sentence. I don't know. I don't know what else to make of it other than that, Now, Joey, after 10 years, though, on death row, she's pretty fucking sick of it.
Yeah.
Wants to die. You mentioned that here a moment ago. I mean, the prison interviews she did were pretty fucking fascinating, man. You could see her fucking slipping.
Yeah, she was done. Prison wasn't a good spot for her, as crazy as she was, but she also couldn't be out in the world. I mean, she straight told them, Aileen Wuornos will kill again.
Right.
Yeah. She's like, kill Aileen Wuornos.
She knew she just, she should have came up back in the Albert Fish time, because then she could have got executed in a year,
Oh, for sure, yeah. Yeah, they didn't fuck around with him, that's for sure. So, Chris, definitely a fucked up, thing. I saw a woman who wound up adopting her. Did you see that?
I saw something about that. I thought that was weird. I didn't really get too deep into that because I'm like, that's just too fucked up, man.
Yeah,
that's like was it Ramirez got married while he was in prison and shit? Yeah, that's just kind of weird to me. That's fucked up.
There was, I've got the first of the 2 documentaries, The Selling of a Serial Killer, that the British guy, I can't remember.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
I know that was a good one.
And then they did the second one we watched last night. But the first one, that lady is just, it's wild. Yeah. It's like she did that because she knew that she would be able to cash in on it.
Oh, is that why she did it?
It seems that way. I mean, you can't really tell, because she was selling the rights to the story, and then, the movie rights and all that.
Well, I did see some cops went down over fucking some underhanded shit they were doing with that.
Yeah, a few of the cops got investigated, and it was for real. And some of the other cops came out afterwards that weren't involved in the force anymore and admitted to it. But it was funny because, like, straight up that lady, I can't remember. The lady that adopted her might have been named Dawn too. I can't.
I don't remember.
But like, there's even a specific part of that documentary where he's giving the money, to her and the lawyer for this, for these interviews and everything.
Wow.
And then they back up on it and say, "Oh yeah, I never got this." He's like, "Well, I got the video footage." So I don't know. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah,
Pretty
I do
shady.
remember.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's almost more of a soap opera watching the shit.
Did you watch that one, Steph? Because I remember watching that one.
I did. Dude, like, I agree with Joey. She was, like, totally in it for the money because they were doing the interview, and she's like, I don't know how much I should be charging you for this interview.
Exactly.
And,
Oh, wow. I don't remember seeing that.
Like the Tiger King, she raised wolves. So,
wow.
maybe she was trying to make money for her wolf farm. I don't know.
Wolf King or Queen.
Yeah.
That's funny. In 2002, Wuornos is saying the prison staff is messing with her food, putting dirt, saliva, and urine on it. She's obviously losing it mentally. She thought they were trying to rape her before the execution, being very difficult in every way possible. Before she's executed, Aileen admitted finally that she killed those men in cold blood and not in self-defense.
Didn't she also say they were putting like sound waves through her head and all that shit? Like
sonic,
sonic waves.
Yeah. It was fucking crazy.
She like
dude.
flipping out like, you got to see the shit they're doing to me.
Oh yeah, and then
she's
they
all-
kept turning it up, and it's
she's
fucking
all
crazy.
flipping out. They knew what I was doing. They just let me go out there and do it.
Right.
Like flipping out, dude. It's
Yeah,
hilarious.
she gets really kooky, and she speaks with that journalist on the subject. I'm going to play a clip of that so you guys can hear this for yourselves if you're not familiar with it. So hang one second.
I pretty much had them selected that they were going to die.
But when you're saying that there was no self-defense, so there was no self-defense.
No, there was no self-defense. I'm being really straight up about everything. There's no self-defense. I'm really sorry what happened about everything. I was in this. To me, this world is nothing but evil, and all of us are full of evil one way or another. In whatever we do, we have evil in us. All of us do, and my evil would just happen to come out because of the circumstances of what I was doing. Hitchhiking, hooking, on the road. I was a homeless person all my life. And then the hitchhiking, hooking, I learned off the homelessness and cruising all over the United States of America and stuff. And so learning how to be a hooker as a hitchhiker eventually got tiring. In the end, I carried the gun for protection, but then I got where I was getting a real problem. Our rent was due, $1,200 behind. Tyra was doing a lot of beer drinking and stuff.
So you can hear her talking about, obviously, what Joey had said. Tyra was the one that wanted the money, and Aileen had to make the money, and
that's how she did it.
Yeah.
It's blood money.
Yeah, so pretty fucked up, when you hear it in their own words. We don't typically do that, but there's so much good stuff from Aileen. Now, she was executed by lethal injection October 9th, 2002. Thought it was interesting, Chris. Her last meal was just a cup of coffee. That's all she wanted. Her last words were pretty bizarre, though.
Her last words are my favorite last words.
Yeah, why don't you want to read them, John?
Yeah, I'll read. My second favorite is John Wayne Gacy just kissed my ass.
Yeah,
right.
That's a
But
good
my
one.
favorite last words of all time is fucking Aileen Wuornos, and she said, and quote, "Yes, I would just like to say I'm sailing with the Rock, and I'll be back like Independence Day with Jesus. June 6th, like the movie, big mothership and all, I'll be back, I'll be back." That's what she said.
Wow.
Crazy.
Now,
fucking-
Steph, what the fuck do you make of that?
Yeah, that's also my second favorite. John Wayne Gacy and then hers. But
Yeah.
if you watch her confession, her towards the end, her interview, she talks about how the cops let her go and kill,
Right.
and they would watch her so they could make money off of it and shit.
Right.
Like, she just loses it, man.
Yeah.
And it's crazy, like, because you can see it too, like her facial structure
Oh, yeah.
changes. Like Homeboy in Split, dude. Like,
Yeah.
you can see it. Like she goes from not good looking to worse.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not good looking to work.
You know, she was only 33 years old
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know.
when she was executed.
Rough.
That's what's crazy,
Rough.
dude.
Yeah. A rough 33 years. Now, there have been quite a few documentaries about her. We've talked about a few, and you guys mentioned the movie Monster. Probably the biggest thing that had come out of that. Charlize Theron got an Academy Award for that part, which was well-deserved.
No,
that
her
was fucking
transformation was
amazing.
awesome. What did you think of it, Stephanie?
I mean, like, I saw the movie Monster first, and you know, I heard Aileen
okay.
complaining about how, you know, everyone was trying to make money off of her books and movies and stuff, and all I wanted to say was, bitch, they made you fucking look good.
Yeah, it could have been a lot worse.
It should have been a whole
Could have been
lot
like
worse.
B. Arthur or something playing her, you know, something like that. Yeah.
Golden Girls.
Yeah,
Golden Girls.
Yeah, she looked like she could have been a golden girl at age 33.
33,
God
Jesus.
almighty.
I bet she was a golden shower girl.
Oh, damn. Ouch.
She's got a good mullet, though.
Yeah,
she
she's
does.
got
yeah.
She
like
does.
one of the classiest mullets ever, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Now, anything, guys, you want to add to this one? I mean, it's tough to kind of summarize Aileen Wuornos in less than an hour, but
Right. You
What
got
do you
anything you
think,
want to
man?
add, Stephanie?
Well, all I wanted to say was that picture I posted, or you guys posted for me.
yeah.
So I took that picture and I taped it on my front door. Fucking forgot about it. Opened my front door.
Why did you
and I
have it
ordered-
taped to your front door?
You know, I don't really know.
Okay.
But, you
All
know,
right.
I ordered my dog food offline and I saw it sitting on the porch today and I was like, man, I wonder what they thought of that today.
Yeah, right.
That's awesome.
That's
That's
someone
funny.
looking at that picture like, why? But okay, cool.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
Oh, yeah, Stephanie.
Anything else, guys, on Aileen that you wanna add?
Just glad she wasn't my sister because I'd
Yeah.
probably ended up banging her, dude.
Oh my God! Now next week, this is ironic that we've got Stephanie on the show with us because next week, doing our special Mother's Day episode on the crazy story of the murder of Vera Jo Regal and the inbred killers acting on command from the infamous Sugar Babe. This is the most, I mean, I gotta say, it's right up there with as fucked up as Tiger King is when it comes to just wacky,
Like,
like
what the hell?
Springer fucking relationship shit going on.
I still haven't
inbred.
watched that thing on Prime, so.
Oh my God, Stephanie, that was such a good suggestion.
Yeah,
that was
yeah,
amazing.
yeah. You got to watch it, Chris.
All right, I'll
And
definitely
see,
check
Chris,
it out. I will
she
definitely
used
check
it in
it out.
context with Barbara Opal. Because she listened to the Barbara Opal
Oh.
episode,
Dude, that-
which is fucking wicked as hell.
Yeah, the Barbara Opal
Beating
episode's
the
great.
fucking
Mom
guy
says
to
kill.
death with the baseball bats.
Mom
That's
says
pretty
kill.
wicked. But this one is fucked up, just as fucked up as that, if not more so. So
Hell yeah.
it's a good
All right,
story.
Stephanie.
So we
You
appreciate
brought it up.
that.
I'm definitely checking it out because
Yeah.
I got it now.
And it's for Mother's Day, Chris. We've always done some good ones on Mother's Day. We did Catherine Knight, the first Mother's Day.
Catherine Knight's always good.
That was a good one. And then we did Barbara Opal last year. So we got Sugar Babe this year. It's going to be good.
Sounds like another total
Yeah. A train wreck of humanity.
Citizen of the world. Just
Yeah.
the best mom you could ever think of.
Oh, yeah. Mother's Day. Yeah. Mother of the Year for sure.
yeah.
So Good Night, Sugar Babe. If you have not seen that, go check it out on Amazon Prime. Stephanie suggested it, and I watched it, and it was awesome. You won't believe this shit. Within 5 minutes, you'll be so confused of who's related to who, you won't even know what to fucking do, man. It's
Oh my
fucked.
God,
it's
dude.
fucked. So you won't believe this shit. My
Thanks,
daughter,
Stephanie. That's awesome.
my daughter Katie Altieri, she's got a master's degree and works with troubled kids, and we're going to have her on to discuss the case. We had Katie on when we did our episode on multiple personalities of Billy Milligan, which was
yeah.
cool. So Katie will be down for that. I sent Katie a text after I watched that, and I said, you have to watch this Goodnight Sugar Babe, because I knew she was working from home and had nothing but time. And she's like, really? And I'm like, I'm telling you, you're going to thank me. And like 10 minutes later, she called me and she's like, I got lost in the first 5 minutes with who's related to who. I'm like, that's fucking exactly. And she just couldn't get enough of it. So it was pretty funny. So definitely it's addictive. And so Katie will be on. That'll be fun to have her talk about this. Because it's not a funny situation. It's awful. But, we try to have some fun with these dark, disturbing topics. So that's what we do. Thank you again, Steph, for this. I hope you had a good time.
Yeah, I hope you had a good time for real.
Oh, definitely. Thank you guys so much for having me on the show.
No problem.
No
And your
problem.
dog was good, I thought. I heard a little bit of grumbling in there. What's your
My
dog's
mom was
name?
bribing him with treats.
Oh, okay.
What is your dog's name?
Yeah, what is the dog's name?
His name is Smush. And
Smush.
he's
Nice.
an English bulldog. Yes. Yep.
Cool.
Awesome. How long have you
Very
had him?
vocal. He is 4. He was born on Valentine's Day.
Oh, that's awesome, dude.
That's cool.
Hell yeah, dude.
That's awesome. Well, very cool. We're glad you were on. Congrats for winning the contest. You got your shirt. You got some other stuff we threw in. And, of course, you already had the book and the picture and stuff, so I sent you one of my books instead, and that's the one Joey did the cover of. So
Awesome.
you got to
Fuck
see
yeah,
that.
dude.
And so, again, congrats for winning the March Mayhem contest. And, again, we're glad you did this.
Glad you enjoy the show.
Yeah.
Hope
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Fuck yeah, man.
And I'm hearing a sound. It's a faint sound I'm hearing, Chris. It sounds like somebody's
Sounds like a
coming
train
down
horn.
some train
Me and
tracks.
Cashman got stuck by a train on the way here.
We did.
Fuck,
Oh,
like a
shit.
long mother. Like this
Yeah.
motherfucker was so long ass freight train had a fucking engine in the middle of a bunch of cars.
Oh, wow.
It was
Yeah.
probably the 920 and the 1020.
Oh, damn.
At the same
and the
time.
420. All right, well, we got CK coming around the bend. So, Stephanie, you got to tell us what we got to do right now.
It's time to get your metal on!
Known the world over as the master of metal, the crusher of posers, and murder metal mayhem's knower of all things metal, hailing from Wild Van Street in Danbury, Connecticut, standing at 6 feet of brutal, punishing madness, weighing in at 220 pounds of poser pulverization, the one, the only, toughest bastard on the planet, Chris C.K. Kovacs! Oh, yeah. Got the great metal motherfucker here with us.
What's up, man?
Hey, what's up?
Fucking throwing the hell down. Got Joey Goremonger still here with us.
Living the life.
Looking all
guys have-
suspicious over there with his bandit mask around his neck. You know,
He hasn't been thrown out yet, so
He is not. He's
no.
COVID proof over there.
Hey,
so.
there's not shit everywhere because the Poop Like a Champ has not been opened yet.
Yeah.
I mean, if he
Not
gets
yet.
too hungry and starts eating that, then there's going to be a fucking problem, bro.
But he did
telling
pass
you.
a vacuum in here, so it looks better in here. So he's doing. He's
gotta
earning
get,
his keep.
Gotta get a couple people want to eat that and test it out.
I know it'd be funny, man. It would be funny. All right, well, very good, CK. Good to have you on, and you're going to be talking about another old school band, man. You've done a whole string of these good old school bands, and you got a good one for us tonight.
Yeah, and I mean, most of these bands are bands that you grew up on or I grew up on, or
Right.
you know. So I mean,
Oh, I just found out some shit about violence I had no idea about. So I can't wait for you to talk.
okay. Want me to wait or
No, go
do
ahead,
you want
dude.
to-
I'm
okay, okay.
excited.
we're
now.
anxious.
No, I want to
Yeah,
hear.
we're anxious to hear what you got to say about it, dude.
okay. Well, Violence started out in '85. They were originally called God, what were they? Originally, they had like some fucking generic name
Right.
that Death Penalty. I couldn't think of it, but they were originally called Death Penalty. And again, one of those band names that probably everybody fucking had
Right.
all around the country. At least one friggin' state probably had. Each state probably had a death penalty.
At least.
But they eventually changed her name to Vio-lence without the hyphen. But that name was taken.
And Cashman.
I
had brought
wondered if
something
there was
up.
a reason why they did that.
Yeah,
And
the
Cashmere
name
brought
Vio-lence
something
was
up
taken.
about that though. What'd you say? Like
No, I said CK did 2 hyphenated bands back to back.
yeah,
he
because
did.
last week's propane.
Propane
Yeah.
last week. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I-
I didn't even realize.
I know. I didn't think of that either.
I
That
was
funny.
like, if you were to do a third band, what would the third band be that's hyphenated?
I should have said I planned it and made myself look smarter.
I
than
know.
But shit, that's right. But no, another band was already called Vio-lence. So what they did was they put the hyphen, and I guess that took care of it. So there was no issue legally.
Probably like death penalty. There was like 10 violences in every city too.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Sure,
I'm sure there was.
They're like,
sure there
They
was.
couldn't come up with another name, so they just put a random hyphen in the name.
They're like, man, this is
It
too
just seems
hard.
odd. Yeah,
I'm too drunk for this shit. Just add that.
I'm too fucking lazy to think of a name. Let's just put a hyphen.
That's awesome.
Our lawyer said it was okay. We're good with that.
Right, that's all that matters. We're fine.
See, if they would have gone with the hashtag instead of the dash, they would have been like
man.
so ahead of their time.
Futuristic.
You know what I mean? Like,
They were
wow.
ahead of the time.
How the fuck did they know that? You know?
But they formed in '85, recorded a couple demos. I mean, they had the basic band, which everybody knows who they were, and recorded all their albums. Was Sean Killian, Rob Flynn, Phil Demmel, Dean Dell, and the drummer, which was oh god, my mind is slipping. I'm on my chemo pills this week, so I'm all fucked up.
Drugs will do that to you, bro.
Perry Strickland, I should know because I remember when I met him. But they recorded a couple demos. Eventually, they were signed to a new label that MCA ran, an imprint called Mechanic Records, which was kind of their quote metal label. They had Dream Theater's first album was put out on Mechanic. Voivod was signed to Mechanic. There was a poser band I was signed to. I can't remember. I think it was Bang Tango. I can't remember.
Real quick, could I jump in?
Yeah,
I
go
did
ahead.
not realize till recently that Rob Flynn, like fucking Machine Head Rob Flynn, was like
Yeah.
in Voivod that fucking or Violence that long ago, dude.
Yeah.
I had no
was in-
idea.
Yeah, he recorded all the albums with him. And Phil Demmel was in
Yeah, he was a Machine Head too.
was a Machine Head too, and I'll get a little into that a little bit because there's issues between
Right on,
those two now.
cool.
Yeah, they formed in '85, signed to Mechanic Records, recorded a killer debut album, which is, other than probably Bonded by Blood, I think is one of my most favorite debut albums, Eternal Nightmare in '88. And I remember reading about this band and their demos, and as soon as that album came out, I bought it, put on in the CD player, and I was like, holy shit. And the thing that stuck out to me was Sean Killian's voice. Because kind of like Paul Baloff, he had a certain style. And to this day, nobody phrases like Sean Killian does or did on those Vio-lence albums.
Yeah, he's very unique. I got to add,
Yeah.
say that big time.
And they toured heavily behind that album. I remember seeing them with, they opened up for Testament in '88. I believe Testament was supporting the New Order. And they played in Jersey, did this store signing, album signing at a record store, which was free at that time. Now you'd have to pay for it.
Right.
And I remember we went to Jersey City to see these guys, went to the record signing, met Testament, met Vio-lence. Both bands were super cool. And later that night went to the show, and both bands just kicked ass. I just remember it was probably one of the best shows I've seen in all the shows I went to. That's probably one of the best metal shows I've ever seen. That's saying a lot.
Yeah, that's for sure.
But
you've been to a lot of shows. I mean,
at least 400 or 500.
right, and 100 of them's one band, right?
60 is about the Ramones.
Yeah, exactly.
10 or 12 of them were 13 or 14 were Fate's Warning. But soon after, I believe Mechanic Records pretty much fell apart. They collapsed. And for the second album, Pressing the Masses, they signed to Megaforce / Atlantic Records. A lot of people think that album's not as strong as the first album, but I disagree. I think it's as good. It may not be better, but it's as good as Eternal Nightmare. And I thought it was just as good. And I saw them on tour in that one too. And they opened up. I don't remember if they opened up for somebody or for the headline, but I remember seeing them on the Oppressing the Masses tour, and they were awesome on that.
You know
tour
what's
as well.
awesome though is like if you hear an album and you kind of have a taste for it, but then you see them live and they play the music off of that album live and it's phenomenal. That makes a difference for me.
Oh yeah, to me it makes the album better,
And if
that they could actually pull it off live.
Yeah, but also on the other hand, if you hear an album that's awesome, but you see the band live like multiple times and there's this total shit show, like
that sucks.
It's like, oh my god, this is not what I expected.
That happened to me with Megadeth up to a certain point.
Yeah.
The first, because I think I've seen them like on the first 4 or 5 tours, and up until the third album, they were just horrible live. Anytime I saw them, and as soon as Rust in Peace came out, when they got on Marty Friedman, I don't know if it was because they did less drugs or they got new numbers.
It's probably because they did less drugs.
They probably did less drugs because I think Dave was off the heroin, but they were just amazing after that point. But Vio-lence, they were just a band that was. Every time I saw them, they were on point. They were just great live.
That's fucking good.
They were dropped from Megaforce Atlantic because 1990, 91, metal was turning to shit. Everybody was turning their attention to fucking glam band and hair metal. They did record a third album, which many people do not even know about. Called Nothing to Gain. And the reason why too many people don't know about is because it fucking sucked.
It's because
I'm
it
gonna be
fucking
honest.
sucked.
It fucking sucked.
Like, hey, tell us how you really feel, dude.
I put it on once in a while to, and I'm like...
Try.
They recorded it in 91, but didn't release it until 93. And I don't know if it's because they couldn't find some label to put it out, but the label that put it out was some label it's some small label.
Ain't nothing wrong with small labels.
Huh?
Ain't nothing wrong with small labels.
No, but this label I never even heard of it. It was called see if I can find it. Bleeding Heart Records. Never heard of it.
Right.
But that was the last album they put out. Subsequent to that, they broke up. As you mentioned, Rob Flynn formed Machine Head, which Machine Head went on to become pretty massive. First 3 albums are amazing. After that, it's touch and go with that band for me anyway.
Yeah, there's a couple albums that I don't like, but then there's other ones I do after those first 3 because Burn My Eyes is freaking awesome.
Oh, that's a classic.
And
the one after that.
The Bleeding Red. I don't know, but
Yeah, I think it's then there was one they put out after that, Supercharger, which was horrible.
no, that
Then
one fucking sucks, dude.
Then they put out a killer album after, which I can't remember.
The Blasphemy.
Yeah, no, that was the Blackening was great too, but it was an album before that where they kind of went back to the way they were. But the last couple albums weren't that great. But Phil Demmel eventually joined them too.
Right.
And there have been reunions of Vio-lence. I know when Chuck Billy had the cancer and they did the tribute concert and that.
Right.
They reformed for him for that and played the whole first album. They played Eternal Nightmare in its entirety. And they reformed and did stuff, after that. Just recently, everybody left Machine Head except for Rob Flynn. I guess him and Phil Demmel had issues. They're not on good terms at the moment. So the whole band left. I know Rob Flynn is putting together a new version of, or has put together a new version of Machine Head. And while that was going on, Sean Killian had some health problems a couple years ago. He had cirrhosis of the liver. They did do a fundraising concert for him. Vio-lence played, but he didn't sing because he was just too sick. I don't know if he got a liver transplant or what happened, but I guess he's fine now.
Wow.
Last year, they decided to reform after Phil Demmel left Machine Head. It's pretty much the original band minus Demmel. Again, there's issues. Minus Flynn, I'm sorry. Again, there's issues between him and Demmel. I don't know what they are.
We were just talking earlier when they last year when they played in 2019 at FTA. Like, that show was off. It was ridiculous, dude. Motherfuckers stage diving, crowds.
Oh God,
dude,
I heard it was sick.
It was so badass when Vio-lence was playing. Like,
and I would have killed to see them live at that show.
Dude, it was so good.
And they had I believe that was Phil Demmel, Dean Dell, Perry Strickland, Sean Killian, and they had a guitarist named Ray Vegas on rhythm. He just left, and now they have former Overkill guitarist Bobby Gustafson on rhythm. And it was just announced a couple months ago that they signed to Metal Blade and are recording an EP, which I hope they just record a full length, because I would.
Yeah, that'd be badass.
I would kill to hear a full length by them. So I guess they're back to being pretty much a full-time band. Sean Killian's feeling better, so see what happens.
That's cool.
Again, one of my favorite band. They're on pretty much the second wave of those Bay Area bands.
Right.
That came out. But if somebody's never heard of Vio-lence, check them out. Especially that first album, you're going to be hooked.
Nice. And you've got a lost classic for us, CK. What you got this week, dude?
And probably many people probably have not heard of it, or think they've heard of this band, but it's not the same band. It's a band called Sword. Now, there's two swords. There's a band called Sword.
There's a sword of good and there's a sword of evil.
No, there's a band who's out now called This Sword, which is kind of like a Doom type band.
Now, there's not a band with an SW-ORD?
No.
Or a silent Q in there somewhere?
No. This band's called Sword, and the album's called Metalized.
Okay.
They came out like in mid-'80s. They were kind of like out of Canada, they were like a thrash, kind of traditional metal band. They kind of defied genre, but the first album, Metalized, came out. Was on Aquarius Records, but it was put out by Combat in America.
Okay.
It's a really good album. I always dug it. Not many people knew about them. They have played with Metallica during the Master of Puppets tour. They actually opened up for them.
Huh.
Both their CDs are still available. Both are decent. The first one's a little bit better than the second one, but if you haven't heard of this band, go check them out. They're really cool. I love them.
That's cool. Now, CK, we both saw the documentary "Murder in the Front Row." I was fucking blown away by it. What did you? What did you think, dude?
I thought it was great. I got it on Amazon Prime, but I just got the DVD yesterday.
Of course, you got the physical. That's how it works, right, Cashman?
I have to.
Physicals.
Yeah.
So I got to look to actually see if there's bonus material on it. But I thought the way they did it was awesome.
Yeah, they got tons of guests on there. I mean, pretty much everybody from Slayer, Exodus, Testament, fucking Metallica, Megadeth.
Larry Lalonde, which he doesn't talk about Possessed too much anymore.
No.
He actually
talked about it,
discussed Possessed and how the satanic thing was kind of like a joke.
Right.
They didn't take it seriously. It was just to get attention and stuff like that.
Right.
But it basically focuses on the first wave of Bay Area thrash bands, which is Exodus, Metallica, Slayer. And then it goes into a little bit on, Testament, Forbidden, Possessed.
Right.
Pete's over here farting, dude.
Burping.
Get a blanket, get some Dutch oven action going.
Yeah, it could be rough in here, man.
But I thought it was very well put together.
Yeah, it was really, really good.
I enjoyed it.
Now, I reached out to them. I've not heard back yet, but I reached out and hoping that maybe they'll be interested in doing an interview and maybe we could do a whole show about it because it's such a cool movie. If you're a fan of the old school thrash metal, the bands we've been talking about, you'd love this. Talks to pretty much all of them currently and what's going on, and pays a little tribute to Cliff Burton, a little tribute to Paul Bailoff. Very, very cool the way they put it together. Very professional, very, very top shelf, very, very, very well done. So
I gotta say they spent a lot of time on Exodus. They probably spent the most time on Exodus because
I think so
that's
too.
the one true band that is actually from the Bay Area.
Right.
Since Metallica and Slayer are actually were LA bands,
right?
To be honest, but yeah, it was really really good to see like Rick Hunholt, who used to be in
Exodus. Yeah.
Doesn't look anything like he used to.
No, he doesn't. Doesn't
None
at all.
of us do, bro. None of us do.
But a lot of them did. But he looks dramatically different. Yeah. So that was very cool. So hopefully we'll hear more about that, and those guys will get in touch with us. Joey, what's the update on new Goremonger, and then what I've seen that you did some moving around with the HOI show, so you want to give us a heads up on it?
Lockdown.
Yeah, and I talked about it last week that I figured it would happen. So the Heart of Illinois show, October 31st, Saturday on Halloween. Still going to do in Forest. That's all still up in the air too. We don't know what's going on, but I'm hoping by that point that
everything
will be okay.
By October, shit ain't fucking figured out.
Oh my God!
Dude.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill everybody's kids.
I do I've had a lot of people that have been supporting the label, FTA Records, which is really cool. I just dropped a new CD yesterday or something, Butt Fucked by Bigfoot.
He said yesterday or something. I don't know.
But that's our buddy Chris Durr, and then this other guy Tim from out east. But that's their band, so I just released that. And then I got the new Goremonger CD, and that'll be the next release on my label, probably within the next week or two. So
okay, very cool.
Staying busy during this bullshit.
Yeah, as busy as you can.
Yeah.
And I love the daily, what T-shirt are you wearing today?
Yeah.
I love those.
Daily date rape.
Yeah.
And, of course, today I busted out the Celine Dion shirt.
Fuck
man. Yeah, so pretty funny
I got
stuff.
my Burning Nursery shirt on.
Burning Nursery.
And I almost, we were talking about the classic, T-shirt metal stories. Of course, I'm wearing this coat hanger abortion shirt. I'm not thinking it's fucking 72 degrees out today, and I go deliver some packages at the mail or at the post office.
Right, and I just got my shirt on.
Yeah, and I was in there standing before I even fucking thought about it, but with everybody being 6 feet apart, not even wanting to look anybody in the eyes anymore. anymore right now. Fucking, I don't think anybody noticed, but it was still like one of those moments. Like, fuck, I wish I had changed that.
I know. I have those all the time, man. Like, fuck, I'm wearing this Hannibal Lecter shirt.
Yeah.
No wonder why this lady's staring at me like I'm about ready to kill her. You know?
Say now you can be wearing that one, and when people are staring, be like, "What motherfucker? It's Celine Dion."
That's right, bitch.
My heart will go on.
You don't like the fucking Titanic?
Yeah.
What?
Tell me you didn't fucking tear up when he fucking left the boat. When the door slid away and he went under the water. Tell me you didn't fucking
I mean,
cry.
you got to fucking do a karaoke of a Celine Dion song now with that shirt.
No, he
on.
did.
He's
done.
But with the shirt, though.
Oh, with the
No,
shirt.
Oh,
right,
video.
right. A different.
A video.
Trust me, she's got plenty of songs.
Okay.
All right. We got to do
It's a
video.
challenge.
No, it would be funny to do that song, though, a video with that shirt.
With the shirt
That
on,
would be
yeah.
hilarious.
It'd be great.
She might fucking reach out to you over that.
She might. Very
You
cool.
some Celine, baby.
We also did an interview, Chris, with James from Jungle Rot. That was fucking badass.
Hold on, where are we at?
That's not on your notes, brother, but you did the interview with James from Jungle
Yeah, we
Rot.
did.
Yeah, we did do an interview with James from Jungle Rot.
Yeah, we
So
did.
we had a little confusion here with the version of the notes that they've got is a little off of where I'm at. So
Also, Christopher St. Booth the same day, right?
Yeah, we did Christopher St. Booth. That was for the 100th episode, and we got the James from Jungle Rock clip. It's about 9 minutes long. I'm going to play it here to let the listeners check this out. So here we go. Lyrics, to me, I can't get into a song as much when I know the lyrics are just mindless or I don't know, something about it. I just don't click with it the same way.
I agree with you. I agree with you to an extent. Like sometimes if the song is like there's some mindless songs that they're supposed to be, and I can get it. You know what I mean?
Of course,
that's like Mortician. Mortician is just mindless.
Well, yeah,
right. Hell yeah, dude.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's supposed to be. You know what I mean?
Of course, yeah. I come blood. I'm not expecting to
Cannibal
see
Corpse,
Shakespearean fucking lyrics or something.
Sure. Can I do that once in a while?
Yeah, nothing wrong with coming blood now and then. Yeah.
I do that once in a while with Jungle Rot, though. Like I write some serious songs, and then I also write some like hack and slash kind of gore, like old school kind of like chop you up, and cut you up in the fucking woods, kind of fucking songs. You know what I mean? And try to make it a little wittier.
Right. No, that's cool.
That's what makes it fun.
The last couple albums, though, for sure, has been like me just being pissed off at like the government, man, because it just seems like more and more they're just trying to see what they can get away with, man.
Yeah.
More and more, just taking the tiny little liberties away from us. More and more, just seeing what they can get away with. You know what I mean? And when does it end? Anybody, like I'm not a conspiracy nut. I can't trust anybody in power. If I had that power, it would go to my head. It just does.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it goes
to
straight to the
people's
head.
fucking heads.
Yeah, that whole absolute power corrupts absolutely. That's the truth.
You almost can't help it. You could be the best guy in the world. If given $2 billion in the presidency of the United States, you're going to probably turn into
an asshole.
Flying on Epstein Airlines, going to Epstein Kitty Rape Island, and fucking doing stupid shit you're not supposed to be doing. You think you're above the law when you're there.
Right.
Totally, dude. Totally, man.
You have that kind of power. So it's almost like I don't know, like I can't follow tenets of everything, like capitalism, socialism. There's a little bit each one of those things that you could take. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's no need for us to have like the billionaires we have on the planet. There's no need for us to have that shit. You know what I mean?
Nope.
People will say, "Oh, they make jobs." Well, we all have jobs. We can make our own fucking jobs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
It's just, I don't know, man. It's just, it's you just can't trust the government when it comes to anything really much.
Yeah. No, I hear you, man. I mean, that's a common thread in a lot of metal. I mean, hardcore.
Sure.
I mean, it's been the staple of it,
It's because it makes people angry, and it should, man.
Oh, yeah.
Know what's going on. You know they're not telling us the truth on everything. You know that.
Oh, hell no.
No, of course not.
Living in Illinois sucks.
Oh, it's the worst.
Now, speaking of songs and interesting topics and subject matter, I really love your song Fearmonger that was on the last album, and it was very cool to see Schmear on there from Destruction. How did that all come about? I know you guys did a show or shows with them, right?
Sure, yeah. Well, it's funny, man, because when Dave was writing that song, like, when he first came up with that first riff and that beat, that he's like, this sounds like Destruction, kind of. He's like, it sounds like it should have like a smear vocal on it.
Nice,
dude.
So when we put like the mumble tracks on it so I could write the lyrics, Jeff kind of did it in kind of a smear voice, and it was like, well, we gotta see what we gotta try. You know?
Yeah, ask him, see what's up, right?
And then we ended up getting to tour with them. So then when we toured with them, of course, we're hanging out with Smear every night, you know, and eventually it just popped up, and he was like, fuck yeah, I'll do it.
Fucking A, dude.
So, yeah, we sent him the track, and he nailed it. I mean, he nailed it.
Yeah.
It sounds perfect, you know.
Oh, it
and
does.
Dave, you know,
It's great.
thrilled as fuck. Dave was thrilled as fuck because, you know, Smear's like one of his idols, you know.
Yeah.
Destruction's always been a badass band, though.
That song is definitely like, I think, like 2018. I kind of saw this coming because it's almost like this disease, you know, is the fearmonger, you know what I mean? Everybody's just fucking scared to death, you know what I mean? Nobody knows what to think, what to believe.
Well, that's why
Either
when
you're scared of the disease or you're scared of the panic behind the disease, you know? And
Right. Well, that's why when I knew we were doing this interview and I thought of that video you guys did, I was like, oh, shit, you know, and I wanted to bring it up. So that's very cool, man.
For sure.
You got some other bands going, too. Like, what other projects you got going on that you wouldn't mind talking about that's happening, man? Not just Jungle Rot.
No. I got Jungle Rot's like the main band. That's my
right. But I know you got other fucking shit going on, which is awesome.
Yeah,
dude.
I mean, I play with the guys. Like my first like professional band ever from like '92, when I was like 17. We still play. We were called Dysphoria.
Nice.
Yeah, we separated for a while. Everybody did their own thing, and we got back together. And we're still jamming, and yeah, it's fun. You know, it's something to do. We don't take it as serious as, you know, Jungle Rot. You know, it's more like play 5-6 shows a year, maybe. You know,
right?
Yeah, that's cool though.
And I'm still kind of doing my doom metal band that I've been doing since '97 too. Avernus, right on.
And you're playing guitar in the other bands, though, right, James?
Yeah, I play guitar in those two bands. Yeah.
That's what I thought, because I've seen pictures of you with a guitar, and I did a double take because I didn't at the time know you played guitar. So.
Right. No, I started on guitar first, actually, and I got into bass later. But oh man,
that's cool shit.
Yeah, I mean, and Avernus is kind of like, we don't really do anything. Like, we have like an album's worth of material still to write, and it's all bits and pieces, but we don't ever get together. We're lazy band.
This is just for fun, man.
Literally haven't even jammed in the same room in like 2 years, you know?
Oh, boy. Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
that's awesome.
Well, maybe it's like a rainy day project.
Every 10 years we get together and play a show.
That was really cool, man. You could definitely tell James is from Chicago, though, with that accent.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah. Like, let me get some sausage. No offense, James. Don't take it personal. I'm from the Midwest too, dude.
No, it was cool to talk to him, and always nice to hear Jungle Rot up to some good stuff. New album coming, and James was working on some lyrics here in the quarantine of COVID-19.
And when you get on that shit and get the full version, you get to hear him talk about FTA.
Yeah, he did talk about FTA. He talked about a lot of cool subjects, playing overseas and some stuff they did with Destruction, because Schmear sings on a song on their last album.
Yeah, dude talks all about that. It was fucking good shit.
It was really, really cool and a good dude. Any other metal news, guys? Any local?
What, just speaking of, Jim, he was such a big part of the metal scene with me coming up for the Chicago scene, because he used to run a lot of the venues and stuff, and worked at a bar, Yodi, up there, Ye Old Town Inn.
Oh, yeah.
But also, before he was doing Jungle Rot, he was in another Chicago band, which is a huge influence on me, Flesh Grind, which he was the guitarist for them, but he also did some of their lyrics. And,
right.
Yeah, so fucking just really cool dude. Glad you guys got to do the interview with him.
Yeah.
I know he's busy, so.
Yeah, he's super cool guy. Super cool guy. All right, well, very good, CK. Well, I think we've done plenty of metal tonight. So what do we need to do next, man?
We're going to get our motherfucking mayhem on.
Hi, Hernandez Marital Counseling, a division of Benoit Anger Management. How can I help you?
I've been stuck in this house with this bitch for a fucking month thanks to this goddamn coronavirus. Fuck that shit. I fucking hate that goddamn beer anyway. Give me a goddamn Modelo.
Are you okay, sir? It sounds like quite the commotion going on over there.
Oh my god, she's going fucking crazy, man. She plays roller derby on Friday nights at the Legion. Oh my fucking Christ, she's coming at me with a goddamn knife, dude. Fuck!
We're offering our NFL special this month. That stands for Nice Fucking Life. We want you to have a nice fucking life here at Hernandez Marital Counseling.
Some fucking violence, man.
That's my whole life, violence.
Calling in the
Calling
corner.
in the corner.
Gotta
One of
love
my
that.
favorite songs.
That's a great song title too. That's fucking
But
awesome.
every song on that album is just phenomenal.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with that one. And also, we had a commercial there from, and I just realized I forgot to put it in there. So I'm gonna have to
Management.
the Hernandez Marital Counseling. So, so yeah, that was a good one there. Now we got Joey. Got part 2 of his story here.
Yeah.
He's got a good one for
neighbor,
us.
Bro. I
So
can't
what's
wait to
this
hear
all about, Joey?
Neighbors from Hell.
Neighbors from hell.
You need to go back and listen to the last episode if you want to catch the full story. But if anybody's just listening right now, quick recap.
Yeah.
Neighbor from Hell moves in, type of dude, just, can I borrow
Mooching
everything?
motherfucker, yeah.
Right.
He stops at my house or knocking on my door trying to get some free Wi-Fi. He's begging my buddies from like out of state for rides to the gas station. And, he's fucking sitting outside my fucking window, my living room, smoking cigarettes and just talking nonstop and not working all this. So so this is the dude that we're dealing with up till this point.
No good.
So anyway, so this is escalated. Like, this is no bullshit that this guy has fucking sat outside my fucking, apartment for a fucking year. Like, you guys used to come up.
I know. Chairs sitting there, fucking cans sitting there.
So at one point, I fucking tell this dude, like, bro, this is my fucking living room window. You know what I'm saying? Like, I see you. I look out and that's you. I don't want to see you,
Right.
So he ends up moving right outside my bedroom window. I couldn't even fucking make this shit up. I couldn't even fathom, that how he could not fucking comprehend that he's being fucking.
He lives in the same building,
right?
So the apartments.
How many apartments are there?
There's only 7 apartments, and there's 4 on the 3 on the bottom level where I live, and he's on the top.
Gotcha.
So anyhow, this motherfucker has just fucking got me fucking hostile. But so I see this motherfucker going around and picking up cigarette butts whenever he ain't got no money or something. He's obviously hurting. I see him picking cigarette butts, what we call ducks, up off the ground.
Call them duck, going duck hunting.
And also I noticed there's a lady in the apartment across from us, and she's also an avid smoker. He'd be out talking to her sometimes, but I'd see him check through her ashtray outside on the porch and taking her shit.
Wow.
So one day was the fucking best because like I said, I can watch this guy out my fucking window
because he's dead.
Right, everything he's fucking doing, I'm sitting there seeing him. Jesus, he has no fucking clue. Like, dude, but this is the best one. Is fucking, I see him go over to that fucking apartment. He knows that the lady's gone for work. You know what I'm saying? So he goes over there. He has no business over there whatsoever. I see him fucking grab her garbage and fucking bring it back and go up. He brought it.
Oh my god!
He goes upstairs with it and fucking. You know what I'm saying? I know what he did. He fucking went through.
He was duck hunting.
Yeah, dumped her trash and got every cigarette butt he could out that motherfucker. Dude,
oh damn. That's nasty.
Yeah, so I seen him do this. You know what I'm saying? It's just like,
oh fuck,
what the fuck. And this has also gotten to the point where he'll be on the phone out. Like I said, he's now moved to outside my bedroom window.
Right.
Right.
And I'm fucking inside my apartment, like opening the window, like, bro, get the fuck away from my window, And he's like, get startled, but he'll like move and still be like, right there though.
Wow.
With like 3.
Dude, it was crazy.
Yeah.
So this is where it all fucking came down. One day, I mean, I was probably just having a bad day. I don't know if I didn't smoke enough early on. I don't know what was going on, but this was the day where I had a fucking enough of this guy, right?
Right.
Because, like I said, I'm fucking sleeping, and this wall that separates me from the outside is right where he's sitting talking. Oh my fucking god! And fucking, I fucking come.
Just like, oh my
yeah,
fuck.
dude, I come fucking.
You can see his face talking this story right now. You're like,
Is he all red?
He means it.
Yeah, so I fucking
all
come
red.
outside and I'm like, I finally had it up to here, you know. I come walking out on this motherfucker and his eyes just fucking get big. I'm like, look, motherfucker, you need to get the fuck away from my window. I'm like, bro, dude, I'm just straight telling him, I'm like, motherfucker, this is where I'm in here taking showers. I'm in here fucking my girl. I'm in here jacking off, and you're right out here like you're fucking part of it. And I'm telling this motherfucker, like, bro, you're fucking weird as shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I
Pastor,
start,
do work.
dude. I start snapping on him. He's like, "Oh, bro," I was like, "I can't believe that I have to fucking explain to you that you're fucking invading my fucking space."
Right.
And I couldn't believe it. And I had to fucking tell this guy. I'm like, he's like, "Where do I go?" I'm like, right around that fucking corner, there's one spot where nobody's fucking apartment's attached
Nobody,
to it.
yeah.
You go fucking
And
over
that's
there.
where his chair's at now.
And that's where his chair's been ever since.
Wow.
But dude, this motherfucker, dude, the best part, I mean, I'm snapping on this dude. I'm telling him, I'm like, you're a fucking weirdo. I'm like, you're fucking out here all the goddamn time. You know I work all the time. I'm like, I bet you're looking at my fucking windows. You probably know all the shit that, yeah, I'm telling this dude, he's a fucking weird. And dude, and this is the best part. So I've got this fucking arsenal about him digging in this garbage, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Then I'm just waiting to fucking drop on this motherfucker. So I tell him, this is a little bit of a lie, but it was fucking good shit. I said, motherfucker, there are videos circulating online of kids that show you digging in the trash and bringing it up to your apartment, and all these kids are laughing, and all these people have seen it, and they know that's where I live, and now it's a fucking laughing stock. And and I'm telling him how embarrassed I am. And dude, the look in his eyes, because he knows that obviously I've seen what the fuck's going on.
Right, you know what happened.
But I'm telling him it's all over the goddamn internet and shit.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, dude, he starts like, he's like, man, I'm sorry, I'm just, you know, but I'm like, bro, I don't want to hear nothing about whatever you got to
Just
say.
get the fuck out of my shit.
And
Wow.
finally, he fucking, you know, picked his shit up and he moved and he's been around the corner ever since. And he's like, bro, we're cool, right? Dude, he told me one time, I don't even know if I ever told you this, shot back. He was trying to be cool with me, you know? He's like, yeah, man, I used to be a DJ. And I'm like, oh, my fucking God. And
I don't even want to hear it.
And he's like, and he's like, always like, he would try to talk music to me. I'm like, no, man, like, I ain't got nothing to say to you. And he gave me these 2 CDs one time.
I do, dude.
Yeah, and I don't know what they are because I've never played them. But he was like, put in and push play. That's what it's written on the CDs. Pop in and push play 1 and 2 or some shit.
Oh, wow.
And I cannot bring myself to listen to it because I hate him so fucking bad. But whenever he finally leaves, I'll probably put them in and party like a motherfucker. And that's my neighbor from hell that I'm dealing with, man.
Okay.
dude.
That's good stuff, man. Good stuff.
So what are you guys doing Friday night together?
Yeah, right? Oh, my God. We're going to go picking some cigarette butts up out of the gutter.
There you go. Wow. Duck hunting.
Man, I'm gonna say this too, just because it's kind of mean, but it was so fucking funny. Because, like I said, this dude's got some kind of medical issues. You know,
Right.
he's got shakes and all this shit.
Right.
He's the person who shouldn't be smoking cigarettes and shit. I'm just being a dick about it. But
Right.
anyway, the first chair that he ever had whenever he first moved in, and this motherfucker, I forgot this other shit. I remember one time he found like this fucking bucket seat out of this car, like near this trash. I saw it at this trash behind like Ashley Furniture, and then all of a sudden I see it in our hallway. I was like, what the fuck is he picking up this trash for? But anyway, whenever he first moved there, his first chair he had was like one of these super cheap white plastic ones or whatever.
Right.
He's kind of a heavier dude, but he's got all them shakes and all that shit. But I seen him, because this is right whenever he was sitting right outside my goddamn fucking living room window.
Right.
And he goes out there and he sits down, and all of a sudden the chair gives out, and he just busts his shit. And he's all shaking on the ground trying to get up and shit. And I mean, it was super bogus because the guy's got problems, but I'm sitting there just laughing my ass off like, fuck this dude, you know? I'm going to hell.
Wow. Damn. You know what's going to happen, CK, is that guy's going to send us a message.
I hope he's listening. I hope to God he hears this shit.
He's going to seek out Freddie Frankfurter, and they're going to team up.
Collaborate. It's like, that's not what we're talking about. Man.
Wow. That's good stuff. Well, that's very entertaining, Joey. Very entertaining. Well, speaking of entertaining, guys, we got a new killer cage match tonight. This should be very interesting. This is where we come up with a list of 60 killers with 60 objects to fight with. And I know you guys don't have anything in front of you, so I'll mention our listeners, Justin Morris, Roger Smith, and Laura Kovac, CK's wife, for the random numbers tonight. So
I was going to say that name sounds familiar.
Yeah. So tonight we've got a good one. We got John Wayne Gacy going up against the Menendez brothers. They're both such pussies that they're together, you know.
Oh, he wants those pussies.
He does. He does.
Those pussies.
They're going to be fighting to the death.
Pussy.
They're going to be fighting to the death with a crowbar and a long sock filled with quarters. So
yeah.
That's what they're going to fight with.
It sounds like something Gacy would do anyway.
It does.
So.
Yeah. So
those quarters are going both up the Menendez brothers' asses.
Yeah, I think so. And the variable is a rabid raccoon that's been listening to Goremonger for 6 hours.
That's what's up.
Ooh, that's the winner.
That's a pissed off motherfucker right there.
Yeah. So we got Gacy, the Menendez brothers fighting to the death with a crowbar and a sock filled with quarters, and a rabid raccoon that's been jamming some Goremonger for the last 6 hours. So what do you guys, Chris, what are your thoughts here, buddy?
My thoughts? The Menendez brothers are going to grab the crowbar and the sock full of quarters, and they're going to start coming at Gacy, and Gacy's just going to be like, hey, look, I'm a clown. See this piece of rope? Want me to show you a trick? I got the rope trick. I can help you out. And they're going to be like, ooh. I like rope tricks. And he's going to tie him up, and he's going to fucking sodomize the shit out of him and then kill him. And the goddamn Goremonger raccoon is going to be like, this is the most metal shit I've ever seen in my life. Fuck yeah.
Joey, what do you think, dude?
I think I need to draw a new mascot for my band.
Yeah, right?
The rabid
Goremonger raccoon.
I mean, I feel like Gacy's got this one in the bag, and I feel like him having the crowbar. Like CK said, I think he's stuffing the quarters up their asses.
Yeah,
and I think that leaves them with a sock and a crowbar that's perfect to make the fucking, the tourniquet thing around the neck.
I think the crowbar's going up there, too.
Yeah,
You're probably right.
Yeah.
What do you think, CK? You think Gacy's going to take this one, or you think the Menendez brothers are going to butch up and take him down?
After Chris's explanation, I don't know if I can follow that up, but I got to go with Gacy. I think the
Menendez brothers is like,
they're
my mom and daddy here to help me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's because you killed them, motherfuckers.
Right?
They're pussies.
Yeah, I think Gacy's taking him. I think Gacy definitely did some real physical shit, choking people and doing his thing. And these guys, like you said, a bunch
rabid
of pussies.
Goremonger coon.
And then I think the rabid Goremonger raccoon is going to fucking cut Gacy up and fucking kill his ass too. So I'm thinking, my money's on the fucking raccoon, man.
Oh, he's coming out a winner.
The raccoon's coming out a winner for real.
Yeah, for sure.
That's 2 weeks in a row that the variable won.
That's right. That's right. So very, very good, gentlemen. Now we've been doing the Friday 420 on Facebook.
420.
The live Facebook events, and we're going to start doing more of those as Chris and CK are going to get involved in this game here now. So
I'll come up with something.
I can only imagine what Chris Shawback's going to do.
He's going to be shotgunning beers every hour on the hour.
Yeah, it's going to be like every 10 minutes, like, fuck, he's going live again. What the hell is he doing?
Like, holy crap, dude.
So this could be very interesting. So
he could do a beer review.
Good. He could.
Man, I just drink dirty-ass cheap beer, bro.
And CK,
I'm white trash as fuck.
And CK, you're gonna do some metal discussions on Facebook Live too. So
yep,
that should be fun.
It'll be different. It'll be fun.
Yeah,
push the podcast and hopefully get more listeners. I mean, we're kicking ass right now, but
Yeah, always
only
get a
helps
little
us.
more.
You
right.
can show some of your unsafe conditions with all your records
Yeah,
piled up and
you
shit.
could do it inside the room with all the boxes around you.
Oh,
you could have
no,
some
if
fun
I
with
did
it.
that, fucking Laura would fucking crucify me.
Oh boy, yeah, we don't need that. We don't need that.
Fixation.
Now we've got that 666 Club. We've been pushing it. The full interview of John Borowski only going to be available to the Patreon members, so you got to get that episode or that subscription. $3 a month, very simple. Patreon.com/MurderMetalMayhem. So check that out. We'll link to that in the episode description. That Christopher St. Booth interview, as we mentioned, Chris, was really
it was
good.
fucking so good, dude. Talking to, like I said, at the convention was great, but actually, the almost hour that we did with him was amazing.
Yeah, he had some really good stories. Christopher's very, very experienced in so many different things, and it was really awesome to talk to him. And like you said, Chris, almost an hour, 50 minutes. We're going to play part of that in the 100th podcast, and then we'll play the whole thing as a standalone bonus episode for Patreon members at first. So we definitely did our fair share of mayhem tonight, guys. So,
dude, it was fucking awesome, man.
Hell yeah!
This has been a good show to me tonight.
It has been a good one.
Really good
story. That story literally had me pissing myself.
Yeah, that's good stuff, man. And next week, I'm going to tease. Next week, I've got a really good story. I can't believe I forgot to tell, called "The Naked Painter," which is a very, very good story that I think you guys will enjoy.
Is that Albert Fish?
No, actually, it could have been, but it's not.
Dude,
that would have been a good one for the Albert Fish episode.
Yeah, it would have been.
So, all right, so let's hit that outro, guys.
Fuck yeah.
Well, hell yeah. That was a good show,
metal,
Chris.
man.
That was a good
show
one,
was
man.
Fucking awesome. And thanks again to Stephanie for coming
Yeah.
on the show. Like,
That was awesome, man.
I had
From
a good time
Toledo.
doing that, Cashman. How was that doing?
I mean, I don't know how Pete does it. He must be a fucking psychic because the notes on my fucking list right here say that was a good show. So how did you know it was going to be so good?
I just knew it was going to be.
That was a really. It was a good show, though.
Fuck yeah, dude.
It also said it was a lot of fun, so I knew we were going to have a good
Yeah.
time.
No, it was an awesome show today.
Yeah, it was
Stephanie
really
being
cool.
the first listener to be on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
that
was
was
like
cool.
some of
We'll
the
have to
best
do that
shit ever,
again
dude.
with
Yeah,
other
that was
listeners.
awesome, man.
That'd be
Okay,
awesome,
so,
man.
so thank you again, Stephanie, for doing that. I hope you had a good time.
Yeah.
And thanks for supporting the shit.
Yeah, big time, man.
Fuck yeah.
Also, thanks to James from Jungle Rot for doing the interview with us. That was awesome.
Thank you for Christopher St. Booth for doing the interview.
Yep, big time. Bumper music this week by Vio-lence, Venom, and Exciter. We brought up Exciter last week, CK. I thought it was time to bust out some Exciter, so that was cool.
They're a great band from Canada.
Oh, yeah. CK, of course, your intro music by none other than who?
Crisix.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, Crisix.
And Chris,
Murder
the
Metal Mayhem intro, baby. Low
Right.
12.
That's right.
Pete and the boys getting her done back in the day. Fuck
Oh, yeah. Listen to all the past shows, interviews, bonus content at murdermetalmayhem.com. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and subscribe to that YouTube channel. Thanks to our sponsor, spellboundeffectsandart.com. I cannot even fucking wait. When Tony says he's got an idea,
and he's like, I
I'm
ain't going to
really
tell you what
excited.
it is. You're going to see it.
Now, you guys
I'm
both...
super excited.
You guys both know, I'm not telling the listeners yet, what I had suggested he make.
Yeah.
And he said he's got an idea. So I don't know if it's that with his take on it or something totally different. I don't know.
If it's what you said, I feel
It's
like
gonna be
it's
fucking
gonna
nuts,
be like
man.
the most insane thing.
Yeah, I can't
ever.
wait. So he's sending it to us for the 100th episode, so we can't wait. So support him. Spellbound Effects and Art.com. Great artwork, amazing stuff. definitely not going to be disappointed if you dig sick and disturbing shit.
And spend $3 a month on the Patreon for the 666 Club.
That's right.
Well, because I happen to know they're going to have a special one coming up on a big killer.
Yeah.
You're only going to be able to hear it with the Patreon.
That's right.
all you get.
Yeah, we got a big serial killer. Chris is going to pick the serial killer, and we're going to do a special episode, and it will be only available on Patreon. So $3 a month, patreon.com/murdermetalmayhem. Thanks to everybody out there listening. We keep crushing it. We mentioned, we're trying to hit that 200,000 mark. We're awfully close at 198.
We're super fucking close.
So come on now, keep spreading that word, and
slapping that trailer park around with your dirty dick,
and try to make that 200,000 mark by June 1st. That'd be really cool. So, got some good listener comments this week. Chris, why don't you read that first one there, dude?
All right, I got Sarah Blankenship says, this is probably the best podcast on true crime I've heard yet. You guys are really funny. Love it from Italy. I'm an officer in the U.S. Navy stationed here.
Fuck yeah.
So, fuck yeah, military.
That's awesome.
Thank you for your service.
Very cool. An officer, too.
Yeah,
Damn.
no, thank you for your service, and thank you for listening. Fuck yeah. Keep it up over there overseas, and take care of yourself. Be
That's
safe.
really cool, man.
Fuck yeah, dude.
CK, what's the next one, dude?
The next one is Joe for the Metal 66 commented, that episode on Fish was fucking epic.
Nice. I thought that episode turned out good, too. I like that one.
He inspired me to stick pins into my body.
Yeah.
I mean, I got like 3 there. And
Is that why you set off the metal detectors with all the pins in your scrotum and stuff? Is that?
Oh, dude, they're just in my urethra, just like side by side. It's fucking awesome.
I think I told you guys, I probably told you guys this last week anyway, but I thought it was really cool speaking about the Fish episode. One of my buddies, found something about Albert Fish that he hadn't seen before, B, in your episode.
Right.
B, saw John Borowski was part of it, who he already knows of his work. And then C, starts listening to it and then hears his buddy Goremonger on it too. But it's just,
Nice.
Yeah, he's
all the ways that you can get out to people, that's what's so awesome about it. So it's like you never know like which topic or whatnot is gonna, pull in people from different sectors.
That's true. I mean, and we like to do the obscure, but we do recognize the big serial killers are the ones that tend to bring the people in because they're the ones people obviously recognize. So we got some good ones coming up too.
So
got
thank
Son
you,
of
Joel
Sam.
Metal 66.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Joey, what's the next one, man?
Donna Erickson 79 commented, I live in Florida and we love you guys here. I bartend in Tampa and I'm off work now. Thanks for the laughs. All we need it more now than ever. And yes, we do need it more now than ever.
Big time.
Do you have a story? Did you ever serve Eileen Wuornos?
Right, that's what I was going to say. Wait,
Donna, tell us.
I'm looking at it like, wait, hold on, what just happened?
Also, Donna, what bar do you work at? Because do you guys have metal bands come through? Because I'd love to come play.
That'd be cool.
We'll plug the shows too.
Get a born income from Georgia. Fucking.
Yeah, just a hop, skip, and a jump.
Road cruise.
And then Chris, what's that last one, man?
Roger the Dodger. What you dodging, dude? But anyway, Roger the Dodger said, hey, CK, you planning to ever do your segment on Halloween? They're my favorite band. I'm listening to Hamburg, Germany. Hails with fuck yeah.
Oddly enough, not next week, the week after, that is what I'm doing my segment on.
That's funny.
It's Halloween, nice. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I have a special band / person to do next week.
Yeah, we're tying next week's in with the Mother's Day episode, so that should be really good.
So, talking about live albums, Halloween Let Me Out Live is also another like top tier live album for me.
Yeah,
and maybe it's just because whenever I got it, whenever I was a kid or whatever. But
right,
because it's passionate. Yeah,
it was so fucking good though.
Keeper of the Seven Keys Part 2 is one of my favorite albums of all time.
Yeah, so fucking good.
Yeah, those guys are fucking incredible, man. They're really good. It's been a while since I've heard them, so you guys are making me want to check it out again.
Hell yeah.
And in addition, I had a conversation this week with John Borowski. Said he really loved our fish episode. Of course, he was in that with the interview we did with him. So that was really cool that John was digging on that.
Check out anybody who doesn't know, just check out John's shit.
Yeah, johnborowski.com. You can go to his store there and buy all sorts of stuff. He's got posters and movies and all sorts of things.
All his films are on Prime, right?
Yep, they are. Don't miss next week. We're going to be doing a special Mother's Day episode and the crazy story of the murder of Vera Jo Rangel, the inbred killers acting on command from the infamous mother known as Sugar Babe. Very fucked up story. It is some serious Springer shit. I'm really pumped for this one. It's going to be just a good one. So I'm just telling you right now, buckle in for that. It's like a whole family CK of G Monies. There's like 5 G Monies in this one.
All I can think of right now is
I gotta watch this.
You
all
got
I can think of right now is, hey, you ain't my husband no more. I'm gonna kill you. That's my baby boy right there. He my husband now.
Oh yeah,
I always think
you
of
have
that-
to watch this. It's
the
so
song,
fucking crazy.
Sugar, sugar.
Yeah.
Baby, baby. Right? That's
Yeah.
oh, you should karaoke.
Oh yeah, I should. Yeah,
You know what
my
song
candy
I'm talking-
girl
Yes,
or whatever.
yes.
Yeah, that's a good one, Joey. Nice.
Every time I hear that the
Nice.
sugar baby though, that's like
Oh, that's
the
funny.
song that gets in your head. Hell yeah,
That's
dude.
funny. So yeah, it's a must watch. It's trash TV at its finest. So we can't let him go though without hearing a karaoke song. And I'll tell you guys, I was gonna replay "Crazy Bitch"
But we
because
got a
it
new one
obviously
because
fits.
This one's better.
obvious
This one's
song.
better.
It obviously fits Aileen Wuornos. But when I was walking to my car one day to go check the mail, you know, it's funny how just shit hits you at the weirdest time.
Like,
And I'm
kinda like it would hit her.
oh my God, how do I not do that? So
Right.
I looked up and found the karaoke music really
because
easy.
they all came on her.
Yeah, they did. And the background vocals are there, which makes them funnier. So enjoy this one. Crank it the fuck up. And until next time, keep one foot in the gutter.
And your other fist gripping that gun, shooting a motherfucker in the head with a 22.
I was a hitchhiking hooker.
Come on, Aileen. Come on, Aileen. Poor old Johnny Ray said it said upon the radio, moved a million hearts in mono. Our mothers cried. Sing along, but who would blame them? You've grown, so grown. Now I must say more than ever. And we sing just like our mothers. Come on, Aileen, oh I swear. At this moment, you mean everything. You in that dress, my thoughts verge on dirty. Oh, come on, Aileen. Come on, Aileen. These people around here were being down, I sunk in smoke, joint race, resigned to what their fate is, but not us, but not us. We're far too young and clever to run and you'll have this zone forever. Come on, Aileen. Oh, I swear. Come on, let's take off everything that pretend just $20, you fucking bitch. Come on, Aileen. Oh, I swear, at this moment, you mean everything. You in that dress, my thoughts I confess, were drawn dirty. Oh, come on, Aileen. Come on, Aileen. Oh, I swear, at this moment, you mean everything. You in that dress, oh, my thoughts I confess, well, they're dirty. Come on, Aileen.
This is the last time I'm going to say it. You have to kill Aileen Wuornos because she'll kill again.
Mother, man.